Enjoy savings on top-rated appliances online, in-store, or on the Home Depot app. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. Valid February 10th through March 2nd, 2022. Free delivery applies to orders of $396 or more.
Contractors, listen up. This is Bruce Jacobs. Are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go, serving all types of contractors of any size and license in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
It's time to spread game. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming with an all-new tour. 4 quarters of big plays, ankle-breaking moves, and ball-handling wizardry. Do they dunk? Do they dunk? See the stars rattle the rim in the all-new in-game dunk contest. This is the team everyone can cheer for. The Spread Game Tour is coming. Playing in Phoenix and Glendale on March 5th and 6th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com.
What if I told you there's a wealth management firm that offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee? Think it doesn't exist? Think again.
Hi, I'm Mo Ansari, president of Compact Asset Management. When you start a new relationship with Compact, we'll create your customized investment portfolio and financial plan dedicated to help you reach your goals. Try us out for a year. If you're not happy for any reason, you'll get all of the management and maintenance fee that you paid refunded. This is our 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and use the keyword talk to Mo to find out more. Again, from your cell phone, dial pound 250, keyword talk to Mo. Satisfaction guarantee doesn't apply to fees and commissions charged by third parties for such things as insurance products or mutual fund redemptions. It also doesn't apply to any market losses which might occur in an account. For additional information regarding this guarantee, please see the disclosure brochure available at the time you enroll or upon request.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K242 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And we got stuff happening today. I'm not going to say it's breaking news. It broke a little bit ago. It turns out now Devin Booker is all filthy with the COVID. For those of you who had chlamydia on your bingo card, you are incorrect. It's another thing that starts with a C. It's COVID. And yes, he's now in the protocol. I immediately went out and put a bet on the money line on the Trailblazers. And that is no lie.
Kicking a team when they're down, eh?
I wasn't going to say anything about it, but then I thought, okay, I'm going to live and die on this one. And it's not a jinx kind of thing. If anything, maybe the Suns will rise up and, overcome the fact that CP3 is gone and Devin Booker is gone. But, it was a meaty plus 600 and something. I was like, click. I could not help myself. But then, hopefully I do get burned. I do want the Suns to keep winning, or at least start winning again if they can. So I guess, how long is he out then if he's in the protocol? Is it a matter of number of days for them, or is it the matter of how many negative tests can he give?
I think it's two negative tests, isn't it, in a row? 2 negative tests in a row?
Yeah, I can't keep track of all the different COVID protocols for the different sports. So, well, if Keon can look that up, I appreciate it.
I am. I'm on it.
Okay. Also, it's Ash Wednesday. here's a little pro tip. You don't want to go to church, but you don't want to look, like a heathen dirtbag. You just go out to the old fire pit or check your fireplace, kind of swirl your finger around in some ashes and just put your own mark on your forehead.
That's what that means. I thought it was like a special Mark Asher recognition day or something. Ash Wednesday. I thought it was like Mark Asher's day for some reason. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out what the hell we're recognizing Mark Asher for.
Well, that's every day in front of his mirror. But outside of that, this is only a once a year kind of thing that happens for the Catholics and some other people who are like Catholic spinoffs and stuff. So,
we do the Ash Mash and all that bit. In the morning.
I don't know what this we stuff is.
The station. By we, I mean a collective we as the station.
They do something like that, really?
Oh yeah, every morning 8:00 on the morning show. They have Mark Asher comes in and they talk sports, and then they do stock numbers. And
I
things
listen,
like
but goddamn, Bickley Marauder, so good. 888-368-1580. So, there'll be no Devin Booker tonight, or I guess until he has 2 negative tests. And how many hours is there a days thing for that?
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure. It's not very clear, but yeah, he's got to have multiple consecutive tests in a row, and then I'm still not sure what that means. In terms of how many days afterwards he has to wait before he gets back to playing.
It's going to be a while. So no Devin Booker for a while. That changes the way you see things. No Chris Paul, and you're like, okay, we're going to be all right. We're okay. And then now no Devin Booker. It's not okay. Nothing's going to be okay.
I just asked the great God Google how long Booker will be out. It says Booker's out for 6 days. He could miss Phoenix's next 4 games. If he's out 10 days, he would miss the team's next 6 games. So that would be at the Magic, at the Heat, at the Raptors, at the Lakers. There's 5 more rows. Gosh, I can't get to it here, but okay. Lakers, Raptors, Lakers, at Pelicans, and at the Ryan. We owe one to the Pelicans. Well, we owe a butt kicking to the Pelicans.
Well, you might have to wait to deliver that, because if no Devin Booker, no Chris Paul. And by the way, Keon, you know how they took away the black belt from Putin? We're going to take your belt away in Google Foo. Randy just completely spocked you on that one. He was all over it.
Keon, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I Googled it, and I've got a bunch of stories telling me he has to have consecutive tests, but they're not giving me days.
Who gave me days? Randy White.
Okay.
Just saying. So that means, Randy, you now have a brown belt in Google Foo. And
only brown?
Well, I mean, you did it once. And so Keon, who had a 3rd degree black belt in Google Foo, now he has just a regular black belt in the Google Foo. He's been downgraded in the Google Foo. So
as you wish.
Navy Brad says, greetings, Blendermen. Since baseball has shot themselves in the foot, I say if they start up and all fans should boycott. Yeah, also, if anyone in the 4th dimension has a 30-foot flagpole, he has one if you need it. Yeah, Navy Brad, we actually run that idea up the flagpole, and nobody saluted. I don't think anybody is going to come to your house or even accept delivery.
There was that one time we all saluted. It wasn't supposed to say anything, was it?
You trying to be dirty?
Sorry.
You a little dirty? I wonder how long we get away with being on air. Talking like this. What'd you say?
I don't know. I'm a little worried.
It's got to sound like, we can actually be understood and heard, but it's got to be this low where people are like, what's wrong with my radio?
Then they'll turn it up real loud, and all of a sudden we'll go, hey!
No. We'll do the whole show like this, but then the commercials will be like this. No, messing with listeners and engineers. Fed Fan says Booker's test was actually inconclusive, but now he does have to do 2 more negative tests. So that's better than saying he's got the COVID. This just means he's in the protocol because of an inconclusive test. So here's a question. The minute you get the inconclusive results, why don't you take a few more tests and just see what happens? Why do you have to, all at once, like if some girl gets she pees on the stick and she's like, oh dear God, I am pregnant, and then if it was my child, she'd be like, cha-ching. But then if she was like, oh, I am pregnant. This is Keon's. Buy me 3 or 4 more tests. We're going to do this until we get a good result. My point is, there's got to be a better way than making Devin Booker wait around. If you have an inconclusive test, here's a way of solving that. Give him a good test. Give him a couple of good tests all at once. Don't say, okay, we got a good negative test. Tomorrow we'll do another one. As long as it's negative, you're fine. Because inconclusive, well, that's false start.
So do one again today and do one tomorrow.
Or just do one now, another one 10 hours later. I mean, the inconclusiveness of it should be erased pretty quickly. If you tell me he's got I think it's a false positive. Well, yeah, we got to make you wait to make sure and then whatever. Okay, yeah. But inconclusive means something went wrong with the test. We got to do this again. I don't know why there has to be a lag in time that costs Devin Booker games.
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what the NBA's reasoning behind that protocol is.
Mr. Wilbur says, is that a flagpole in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me? Nobody. It's a flagpole because nobody's happy to see you, Wilbur. Blissful Hayes says the NBA needs to get rid of the faulty and rigged COVID tests. Yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think it's rigged and
rigged.
I don't think that the NBA gets more money when their stars are not on TV. I think that's actually the opposite of how that works.
I don't think most of the NBA knows Devin Booker's name. That's how little respect he gets until he scores 80 points and then you see his face for a second and it's gone. While we spend all this time talking about LeBron James. And isn't that hilarious? The whole LeBron James thing. Hey, until you bury me 12 feet under, I got a chance. First off, why do we need 12 feet to bury LeBron James?
He is larger than the average human.
We're not going to bury him standing.
Maybe that's what he wants.
Well, that'd be weird. I mean, listen, you bury me, you do need some extra space because if I accidentally have an erection when you bury me, you're going to need a few more feet. So that I understand. But LeBron James that just makes none.
He did say, bury me 12 feet.
He did.
And I was scratching my head like, wait a minute, what?
Well, he says, that's my confidence.
Well, because if you only bury me 6 feet, I'm definitely coming back. You got to bury me 12.
Got to be 12.
Or it's going to be,
10 feet.
Night of the Living Dead up in here.
That's 10 feet. There'll be fingers coming up like this.
Oh, boy.
It's You can't stop this. Woo! I got to tell you, with as bad as things are going for the Lakers right now, do you see him making it all the way to play with his son? Just not feeling that.
Yeah, I think he will.
I think he would. Yeah.
He's playing at a high enough level, but he can't be the best player on a team anymore. That's what's clear is you can put your big three together or a good duo together, and LeBron can't be the best guy in that grouping, or your team's not any good.
I think I can see the future right now. I'm going to tell you where I see the future. Here's the future. Bronny gets drafted. And LeBron comes along and says, I'm going to play with my son. Oh, they're so happy. This is going to be a great moment. And right before that first game, LeBron's like, come over to my locker. And they sit down and he says, I need you to lean forward. He's like, why, Dad? Because I'm going to shave away little chunks of your hair so everybody thinks this is normal. It's on my head. They'll just think it's hereditary. But Dad, you shut your mouth. I'm still your dad. Just saying.
Come here and we're going to shave your head down.
I think LeBron's actually given up on the hair battle. It looks like he's quit.
He's given up on the basketball battle a bit too. He's saying all these things about confidence and, until you stomp me out. But boy, did you see him play the other night? He just is kind of like, I'm done. He's done.
Yeah. Well, the team is bad. I actually watched, I think Big Steve posted on Twitter, the LeBron, the ball goes up and he doesn't even, go for the rebound. But part of it was he goes to post up. He's got a player that's much smaller. Ball's got to be there immediately. You just recognize that even in pickup ball. Mm-hmm. Oh, big guy on little guy. Yeah.
Get it to him.
Whoever had the ball didn't even see LeBron and took a jumper, and LeBron was just done. He just he quit. And it's part of it's LeBron. He can't quit like that. But part of it is this whole team is bad.
Yeah, it is bad. There's some should be good players. But look at the results. Right now, they're currently the number 9 seed. They've won 27 games in this season. If it keeps up this way, they might find themselves out of a play-in game. I hope. Fed Fan says, all right, well, I listened to Monday's podcast, and this is what I learned. Jeffrey eats M&Ms while there's a commercial for weight loss. Randy's dog really enjoys sleeping on that couch back there.
Mhm.
It wasn't until 2 hours and 42 minutes into the show when Hefty Lefty asked a tennis question. So technically, you guys never talked about tennis. We tried to. That was the point.
Yep.
We were all ready to give up that segment and say, okay. And I was like, well, I was like, I don't think Fed Fan is here. And so we could have had that.
You didn't hear that, Fed Fan? You
And
didn't hear
then-
Jeffrey say that?
He asked the question the other day, thinking you were still on, and you weren't there again. So it's not our fault, Fed Fan, that you are not around when these tennis questions come up. But it definitely was not a lie. You can't say that was a lie. Right?
You can't.
No.
Fed Fan says, well, the answer to Hefty Lefty's tennis question is Djokovic could be number one on March 21st. This will depend on how well Djokovic does at the Indian Wells tournament over there in the Palm Springs area. So this Medvedev guy, are they going to still let him? Is he Russian or is he just Russian like lineage?
I don't know.
So there's a lot of people who are like, I'm not playing that guy. And I'm like, well,
he's Russian.
I'm not sure about that whole thought process. And, part of me is like, yeah, any way you can stick it to Putin because he loves the sports. Normally, this wouldn't matter. Nobody give a damn about any of this stuff, right? But Putin loves the hockey. He loves the ego. He loves the Russians doing well in sports. So if you want to kick him in the Ginobili's, that's not a bad way to do it. But Medvedev, he's a Russian guy. Fed Fan confirms it. It's not his fault that he's got a baby doll haired douchebag for a president. It's not his fault. So I'm kind of torn on that.
It's happening in the NHL too. A lot of Russian hockey players are losing sponsors because they're Russian.
That's just dumb. These are individuals who are here. Well, they're Russian citizens. So I guess the sins of the very fine, thin-haired father. But
how's that supposed to work? He's a dictator. Were they supposed to vote him out?
Right.
What do you want him to do?
I don't know. I mean, I get it, but then part of me doesn't get it. But, I guess that's just one of those things. I mean, Medvedev and other people have a choice, I guess. Maybe I'd be fake because I like money. It comes to me, not him. It's my money. Check says Medvedev. I say, there's too many vevs. It doesn't matter. Just put it in my bank. So, yeah, I'm kind of torn on that.
Yeah.
Because I got nothing against the Russian people. It's not their fault. It's this crazy man doing all this.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like you said, though, Jeffrey, it's the country's fault. It's Putin's fault for putting a lot of these Russian athletes in the position they're in right now. And unfortunately, in this kind of culture that we live in, people are quick to just jump and, knee-jerk cancel. Oh, Russian cancel. Oh, what's that? Russian cancel.
They're throwing out all this vodka. They're like, up yours, Russia. Well, I got news for you. That vodka's from England.
Yeah.
It just has a Russian sounding name. But okay, do what you want to do. Well, it just makes us feel better.
I don't know. You paid for it already. I don't see the point of throwing it or pouring it out, but
makes you feel better because you're stupid. Speaking of stupid, can I tell you what stupid is? Here's what stupid is. California is thinking about naming their heat waves like we name hurricanes.
So the heat wave A would be heat wave Adam, heat wave Barry,
right.
Heat wave Charlie.
Right. I think that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I guess the idea is that naming the heat waves, ranking them like category 3 or something will help engage people to take it more seriously. But here's the thing, it's hot outside. Oh yeah. Okay. It's hot. I don't need you to tell me it's a heat wave. I don't need you to name the heat wave. It's hot.
And also is it something like a hurricane that you can literally see coming? Because if you can't, like if you just get hit with a heat wave, I don't see what naming it does.
Yeah, it does absolutely. I'm just saying, people in California are stupid.
Because when you hear, Hurricane Charlie is coming, I better get out of the hell Charlie's
right.
way.
Right.
If I'm in Florida, let me go hang out with my family somewhere else.
Well, look at the California we're talking about right now. LeBron James and the Lakers, stupid. California naming heat waves, stupid. Cooper Kupp accidentally ignoring text messages from Peyton Manning for years. Stupid.
You could have really just said Cooper Kupp and stupid. And it would have just made sense.
Now, here's what happened. He's like, I got this message from a random number and had a picture of Peyton Manning and me back at the Manning Passing Academy. And I was like, well, that's weird. Who would have this picture? And he never responded to it. He says, I look back through the messages and they all line up with certain events where we've seen each other. So anytime Peyton Manning, we get a picture with him and Cooper Kupp later on, Peyton be like, oh, I think he'll like this. Click. And here's Cooper Kupp. Whoa, that's like magic. Who has this picture of me and Peyton Manning? I better not text who this new phone or nothing. He says, I've been ghosting Peyton Manning for my entire NFL career. He says he feels bad about it, but, sure, Peyton Manning doesn't even care.
It didn't even notice.
But like I said, California, stupid. And by the way, here's a good question. If you had a choice, would you rather be smart and sad or stupid and happy? Think about that. What is more important to you, your relative intelligence and increasingly craziness of the world, or having the opportunity to just be blissfully ignorant?
The blissful ignorance is starting to feel like a really good option.
Good option.
Because every time you watch the news, you're like, man, I wish that I didn't understand what any of this meant.
Yeah, but then that's it. Like you'll be blissfully ignorant. You're like, this is great. And you're like, why am I dead? So it's like if you were, I get it. It was
but
either
you might be stupid
or.
enough to never see it coming.
True. Like,
you'd literally be happy your whole life.
How about you, Randy? Smart and sad or dumb and stupid?
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards
happy and stupid.
Yeah, happy and stupid.
Well, they did a poll on this, and it was a very slim margin. 36 to 35% people would rather be dumb and happy than smart and sad. So, if you can't do anything about it, you're probably right. I'd rather probably just be blissfully ignorant.
If you're like a super genius, you could save everybody. Well, then I'd rather be smart and sad. But
then you wouldn't be sad because you saved everybody.
Well, true.
Although you could probably save everybody and then be still sad because everybody's still stupid.
Right. So
right, they're happy and I'm amazing, brilliant, stupid. 888-368-1580. We got NASCAR questions. Hey, we got Man, Bear, Pig. We got other people here on the text line ready to chime in. So let's come on back, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brad Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arnold Palmer Invitational underway from Orlando Thursday. Bryson DeChambeau, the defending champion, withdrawing this year. John Rahm favored at +900. Rory McIlroy at +1200. Victor Hovland third on the odds board at +1600. NBA tonight, the Phoenix Suns at home against the Portland Trail Blazers. Phoenix a 13-point home favorite. The over-under set at 228. Many of the top college basketball teams entered this week coming off a loss, including the top six. Gonzaga still number one heading into the weekend, still the odds-on favorite to win the national championship at +400, Kentucky at +650, Arizona +775, and Duke at +900. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
There's no doubt that Harmon Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done, and you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Maddie in Chattanooga, whose local Granger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Saving at the Home Depot means you can do more for less. Like making your laundry and life easier with a Samsung laundry pair with steam technology that eliminates stains and reduces wrinkles and odors. Enjoy savings on top-rated appliances online, in-store, or on the Home Depot app. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. Valid February 10th through March 2nd, 2022. Free delivery applies to orders of $396 or more.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to avoid expensive home repair bills. John, a former non-customer, said, "My air conditioner broke and I had to spend $1,900 to fix it." Jeff, a customer, wrote, "My air conditioner broke and I got a new one at no out-of-pocket cost." Mary, a former non-customer, wrote, "My heating system stopped running. I had to spend $3,000 to get a new one." Lisa, a customer, wrote, "My heater stopped working. I got it fixed at no out-of-pocket cost." For about $1 a day, you can have all the major appliances and systems in your home guaranteed fixed or replaced with HSC's home warranty coverage. Call now, and the first month is free. If the lines are busy, please call back.
800-657-5714. 800-657-5714. 800-657-5714. That's 800-657-5714.
The dictionary describes madness as
Frenzy, rage, intense excitement. Yeah, that sounds about right.
we define it like this.
There's the pass to Laker. Puts it up. To Jackson through for the win.
The madness is coming.
Comes out, dribble.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The home for March Madness.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and one more night of doubleheader action. The AIA at 6 p.m. And then, of course, we have GCU on Thursday and Saturday. First, on Thursday, they got Utah Valley. On Saturday, they've got Dixie State. And then next week begins the WAC tournament. I was surprised to find out that they ain't doing so hot in the old standings. They're around 5th place right now. I was all like, well, I can't wait to see what happens with the Mighty Lopes. And then I looked at, they're not that far off in conference play, but right now they are lingering down. Potter was telling me, he's like, yeah, well, hopefully we can get this team up to about 3rd place, by the end of the season here, which is a couple of games away, and be in a better position for the WAC tournament. But we shall see. So they are still in the tournament, but not as I thought they were like killing it. Thought they were number one.
They've had games where they've been killing it, and lately they've been playing a whole lot better. But there was they had the COVID issues, and then they went on that Texas road trip.
Right,
that was brutal. They didn't win as many games as they would like, and obviously Bryce Drew, the head coach, was missing for 2 of those games.
True.
So it's just season didn't quite play out the way that they like, and you don't want to be in that 5th seed, because the way, if you ever look at some of these conference tournament brackets, the lower seed you are, in order to win the tournament, you have to win multiple days in a row.
Right.
And you just don't want that.
Yeah, every day from Wednesday all the way till Sunday, I think, or Saturday. Hold on. Oh, that's right. There's a cough button right here. Oh, well. Anyway, there's games every single day. So it will be interesting to see what happens. But if COVID was the reason that their standing is a little bit lower than you would think it would be, then that also means that as a team now healthy, should be able to take care of business and find themselves in the championship game.
Well, Keon, you've listened to the games. I mean, you've heard them pretty much. Do you think they have a chance to take on New Mexico State in the tournament and possibly get into a situation of winning this tournament?
I think they can. Yeah. I mean, they are as good a 3-point shooting basketball team as GCU has ever had. Just historically, when you look at some of these numbers that they're putting up. But they don't always shoot the ball as well as they should. And I think sometimes the key is the defense and the rebounding could be a whole lot better. But we've seen it improve throughout the season. Dime Isidore has become a better rebounder. Even Udrogo has become a better rebounder. And paint presence.
I must break you.
he does have that name. It's so good. To see the team grow and develop, I think that New Mexico State, a big rival of theirs, they've got a shot here to beat that team. They really do.
Well, speaking of COVID, as we said earlier, Devin Booker is in the protocol. He won't be back for a few games, and maybe even more than a few games. And of course, the old COVID affecting GCU. And suddenly it's like, well, we're all acting like COVID ain't around. There's still releasing the numbers in a weekly basis here in Arizona, and there were about 500 deaths from COVID in 1 week. So keep telling yourself it's over. The evidence of the contrary is all around us. Just be careful out there, people. Anyway, Robert in Surprise says, I got an at-home test I'm sure is accurate. He can borrow. It has to work. Says it's made in China.
Yeah.
He also says there's a lot of Russian citizens protesting against the war. It's not their fault that they got a crazy dictator.
Right.
And he also says if Arizona named every heat wave after a letter, we go through the alphabet like 3 times a year. I think a month.
Least.
Yeah,
at least.
And Good Cat says, how great was it that the Lakers crowd booed the hell out of LeBron's? It's appropriate. Absolutely appropriate. And then, some of the guys on the bench turning and sniping back at some of those people. I mean, look, should have just kept your mouth shut. You guys are losing.
And not just like losing a little bit,
losing a lot.
Losing's bad. Like, it's not like you lost 10 games in a row, but you lost it by 3 or 4 points.
Yeah.
People are pounding you to the tune of 32 points.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't have stuff like that and have fans sit there and pay good money.
Yep.
And, LeBron, who, quite frankly, has the Kyler Murray body language. It's just, it's the shoulders down. Yep. It's I can't believe he did that. And I don't even think LeBron's wrong, but it just all adds to this feeling of like, what the hell is wrong with our basketball team?
So what you do is you keep your mouth shut, you keep your eyes on the court, and you take your lumps because you've earned the lumps. LeBron, you tried to put together a super team. And everybody was like, oh, wow, there's no way with all those high dollar guys and high talent guys that they can't win a championship. Oh, dear God. Oh, it's over now. Sucks to be you, Phoenix Suns. Really?
I think that's what we heard going into this season, wasn't it, Jeffrey?
From every Laker fan we came across. And now they are suspiciously quiet. Like the 49er fans got suspiciously quiet at a certain point in the season this time around. So I don't know. I would love to see the Lakers fall completely out of playoff contention. That would be like a gift from me because I can't get that, with, of course, my hatred for the Yankees. I'll never get that. But it's just fun to watch how ridiculous everything is gone for the Lakers. I'm pretty sure Jeannie Buss is just going to be like, okay, Jim, you can do it. Just
I don't know, man.
Somebody else take this over, please.
The Lakers are sitting in that 9th spot. 2 games behind them are the Pelicans. Also 2 games behind them are the Trailblazers. So,
and by the way, the Pelicans have been playing pretty good basketball lately. So it wouldn't surprise me in the next few games to see the Pelicans catch and pass the Lakers.
So who else can do that, though? You need 2 teams to do that, right?
Well, that's the thing is if the Trailblazers and Pelicans pass them, they're out.
Well, it would require the Trailblazers. Can they step up and overtake the Lakers?
I mean, that's a really good question. They're dealing with some injury stuff right now, and obviously they traded CJ McCollum to the Pelicans, which is one reason why they're better. So it might be tough. The Spurs are 3 games back, and I don't know what to say about the Spurs. Got nothing.
I can hope. I can hope, can't I? A dream couldn't come true. Senior Wake and Bake says, drugs are bad, okay? So are the Lakers. Man Bear Pig says, we should all thank Phil for how bad the Lakers are.
God,
it's so, I don't know. Were you around for that?
I was getting trained by
Unbelievable. Like at one moment, he's a Suns fan. He finally is like, I've had enough. I'm no longer a Suns fan because they lost a game that he thought they should win.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that's it. I'm a Lakers fan. The next day, they sucked and have not looked back from sucking. It was like magical. It's just magical.
I've never seen anything like it before in my whole life.
Absolute fan. It was it was fantastic.
And it was such a knee-jerk overreaction jump to the other side, too. It wasn't even, they did lose a game they should have won, but they still had a really good record and they still had a good season up to that point.
Well, what we need to do is thank Phil for, if nothing else, that.
Yeah.
King Kitten says, hi, Fed fan. Medvedev is pretty good. Seems to be the best tennis player in the world right now, actually. I don't know who's going to knock him off. He'll be number 1 for the entire tennis season. Fed fan came back and said, listen, old Medvedev, he lives in Monte Carlo, hasn't lived in Russia since he was 12. Well, if he's not a Russian citizen, why are people refusing to play against him? I mean,
Russian lineage, man. I mean, that's the way it is with this world.
Well, now
that's
you're
the way
getting
it is
dumb.
with this world. Well, but it's not dumb. People of a certain color, that's what we got going on here.
Well, that's really dumb.
People of a certain ethnicity. I mean, and now people from a certain country or lineage. You are
right.
correct. He's completely stupid.
And by the way, Ukrainians, hey, listen, we sympathetic with your plight and hoping for the best, but we're going to need to talk to you about your racism. Gonna need to talk to you about that horrific racism where you're making black people walk or not letting them go through waiting for all the Ukrainian citizens. The Africans and the people from India are being treated just horrifically, which is weird because you're being treated horrifically, running for your life, but while you're doing it, you're going to treat other human beings horrifically.
Gonna need to talk about some of these Nazi flags that some of the Ukrainian soldiers have been walking around with. Gonna need to talk about a lot of these things.
Well, I hadn't seen that.
Oh,
yeah. So
it's not everybody. I don't want to paint it as everybody.
Right.
But
well, listen, if that happened,
I was disturbed.
If that happened in the United States, then we'd be explaining about those guys with all the Confederate flags, about all the racism in the South. I mean, or everywhere in the United States.
I had a neighbor who flew a giant Confederate flag, basically practically over both of our houses, really, and
makes it easy to set on fire, though. You know?
If I didn't live in an attached apartment, might have happened.
Where's your commitment?
Well, I just didn't want to be homeless.
You got to commit to the bit, Keon. You got to commit to it.
I had to live somewhere, and
so yeah,
he moved in second.
There are some things that need to be addressed in that whole thing, but yeah, just because Medvedev is a Russian lineage, it's not right to. I'm refused to play him. Well, okay. How about you refuse to play state-sponsored athletes? How about you refuse to play Putin himself? How about you refuse the parts that actually matter and not a guy who just happens to be Russian from Russia or even has dual citizenship? It is a bit short-sighted. Navy Brad says, Randy, NASCAR question. With the last race, what problems do you see with these new cars? Ooh, can I answer? I got one.
Sure.
Well, you go first. I want to see if I get it right.
Please go ahead.
The lug nuts. Wheels are coming off, man.
Yeah, they've had some issues, and NASCAR's taking a look at it. And some of the bigger teams, I think it was RFK and Hendrick Motorsports, they were trying to modify the lug nuts a little bit. And so NASCAR confiscated those, and they're taking a look at what's going on. And again, this weekend, during a couple of different pit stops, like William Byron took him completely out of the opportunity to win the race. He had lug nut issues. They were trying to figure out what the situation was. So I think that's an ongoing thing. But with any new item, new generation of anything, you're going to have some bugs you're going to have to work out. This might be something that NASCAR is going to have to really pay attention to and come up with a fix. You know, that's the way it goes. Just like an operating system on your computer. The first one comes out, got a bunch of bugs. You're going to have an update here pretty quick to fix some of these bugs. And I think NASCAR is well aware of it. They're going to take care of it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Randy. Didn't they have some issues the last time they redesigned the car too?
Yeah.
So it's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, like anything else. But here's a fun thing is last year they were running 2 engine packages. This year they're running 1 engine package, a 650 horse engine, and they have a downforce package that will run on all the tracks except for the super speedways. That's the only difference. The Talladega, Daytona, I can't think of the other ones off the top of my pointy head. Even the road courses, they will have the same engine package. So there's a lot more discovery for these NASCAR teams and NASCAR on these cars as they continue to compete during this season. I'm sure we'll see upgrades and changes.
There you go. Heavy Metal Maniacs, he has a very passionate thing to say.
All right.
I'm beginning to think and wonder, do the basketball gods hate Phoenix Suns because the crazy bleep always happens to us? It feels like we're not meant to be champions. I know we're going to be fine, but it just pisses me off. Sorry for the language.
Jeez.
A lot of us feel that way.
I think we all feel that way.
Last Optimist says, mark the day, mark the time. Jeffrey O'Brien agreeing with Bruce Jacobs on Russian athletes. It's bound to happen. Fish Tank says, for those of you who aren't giant hockey fans, Ovechkin is a legitimate chance at catching Gretzky's goal record. He needs to play about 4 more years. He could be considered the greatest ever of all time, yet CCM has still dropped him.
Yeah, that's too bad. Again, it's a cancel thinking culture that's out there. All these corporations follow suit. So Ovechkin has been in American hockey for a long, long time. And I think it's sad. He hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't said anything wrong. He hasn't acted in any inappropriate way. He hasn't raised his fist in rebellion against, Ukrainians. He hasn't picked out people or said anything nasty. And yet CCM has to go ahead and shut down their sponsorship of him because
which stinks.
He is a Russian lineage. I don't even know if he has a home in Russia anymore.
The next meeting between him, Medvedev, and Putin is going to be awkward.
I've been an Ovechkin fan basically his entire career.
Yeah, the guy's awesome.
And he's if he has any strong political opinions, I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
He really doesn't say much on that subject at all.
Sure. And all you dumb snowflakes out there who didn't live through a Cold War like Randy and I did, the entire time, even as a dumb kid, even as an 8-year-old sitting there going, wow, this movie on broadcast television, what was that called? Where they did something, everybody got nuked. What was that show? Jason Robards was in it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It was like, what if, and they actually showed like the Russians bombing us and stuff.
Yeah.
We knew even then, as dumb as we were in 1980 or whatever, it's not the Russian people. It's the Russian government. It's the communist government. It's the people in charge. It's the bad guys. It's not the people. We always knew that. So, to see some of these companies doing that, again, knee-jerk reactions. Everybody wants to feel good. Everyone should end up like, we're on the right side of history over here.
Yeah.
But CCM, use your brain. Use your head about this thing. I mean, if Ovechkin's going around with a big old communist flag and holding up going, that's right, America sucks, I'm amazing. Well, then, yeah, all right, that guy's a douche. Get rid of him. But outside of that, he's just over here just doing his thing. Maybe pause a minute before you hit the eject button on some of these guys. Thundersnow says the movie was called The Day After.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, with Jason Robart and what was his name? I
don't remember their names. All I know is it was funny is that Jason Robart was mostly bald. They had to patch, like glue some hair to his head so then he can start to pull it out. Like, oh, wow, radiation. This is bad. All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll get caught up on the text line. We'll go on to the next little piece of news that came out today. Kyler Murray, let's check. Nope, does not have a contract extension yet. Look at this, though. Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury do. I wonder how Kyler feels. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance, so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. The Dallas Cowboys have become an American favorite in football, but it wasn't always that way. The Cowboys lost every single game in their first NFL season. Do you know what team the Cowboys defeated to win their very first game?
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you a different question from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, you'll love sportstrivia.org.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz, name the team the Dallas Cowboys defeated to win their first game ever, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cowboys are relatively new to the NFL. They broke in the 1960 season, lost every game, and then defeated the Steelers. I'm Nick LaCapria with your Daily Sports Quiz.
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one-of-its-kind hillside? Well then, you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets today at phoenixraceway.com.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
Keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
To AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more.
or
Stream us live anywhere
at 1580thefanatic.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for sports.
Oh, we are so close to March Madness. You feel it. Activated the CBS Sports bracket for all the people who played the contest with us last year.
Already signed up, by the way. Saw
Excellent.
that link yesterday. Already signed up.
We're going to have a link up on 1580thefanatic.com very soon with the details. I don't have the final go-ahead yet, but yes, there will be cash prizes for our NCAA March Madness bracket contest this year. And so hang in there with that. But if you did it last year, check your email, check your spam, look for it from CBS Sports and the 1580 The Fanatic Harmon Solar bracket contest is back again this year. But before we can get to the tournament, to decide who goes to the tournament, we got to have a bunch of championships.
Yes.
And here's what we got here. I will say this. We are slated to have Pac-12 semis and championship here on 1580 The Fanatic, as well as the SEC, as well as the WAC tournament if the GCU is in there, and a bunch of other ones. So, but I just wanted you to know that next week we will have some of those. But this Sunday, we got the Big South Championship. We have the Mission Valley Championship. We have the Women's Pac-12 Championship, all here on 1580 The Fanatic. Then Monday, we have the Southern Conference Championship. Next week, just wall-to-wall basketball. So if you love you some college basketball, 1580 The Fanatic is your place to be as we head on into the big tournament. Very excited about that. Mars Bars 805 is on the text line, says, happy Whiskey Wednesday. Okay, mouth not work. I just don't have any breath. Happy Whiskey Wednesday, fellas. I'll take an 805 for myself. You really want to give the Lakers a drink right now, Mars? Bars 805? How do you feel about the Lakers right now, Mars Bars 805? I know you love you some Duke. You got a reason to kind of love you some Duke, but the Lakers? I mean, that's a good fan. You're a good fan, but I want to know how you feel about your Lakers right now and what you think needs to happen. So if you're a Laker fan, I want to hear from you. I like you. I just don't like your team. Blissful A says, Putin called Ukrainians drug-addicted Nazis. Okay, well, I know he called them that, but Keon, you said you saw pictures of...
yeah, there have been some floating around.
I hope there's not many. You know what I mean? I hope there's only a couple of knuckleheads.
It's like the world is trying to be on your side, Ukraine. Please just stop this.
You're doing what they call talking yourself out of a sale. Blissful Hayes says LeBron's laughing all the way to the bank, everybody. Very few players actually care about winning anymore, unfortunately.
I think LeBron cares about winning. I just think that when the chips are down, especially lately, gives up too easy.
Lost Toby saying, no, actually, some of those Nazi flag people with the Ukrainians, they're actually Russian propaganda. That he says they are not real. So
okay,
I'd love to believe you on that. I'd love to believe that, but we shall see.
Some of that other stuff is still...
Yeah, there's still some racism though. So you're still a racist, even if you're not a Nazi. If you're telling no black people on the bus, no No people from India on the bus. Bob Swirsky says, hey, fellas, when I drink myself dumb, I get happy as hell. The Ukraine has a militia of about 900, which have neo-Nazi ideology. You're seeing them in the media because Putin tried to justify his attack, claiming that they are all Nazis, every single one of them.
And like I said, it's not most people, but just there's some.
Damn it, there's always some, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ugh. We got him too.
One bad apple.
We got him too. Mr. Pringle says, congratulations, the Cardinal head coach and GMs on their contract extensions, making the playoffs with a baby for a quarterback. Well, yeah, that needs to be rewarded.
Google Gaga. Are we ready to go here now? Or
we're going here now.
Okay. Because I don't think that deserves to be rewarded. Steve Keim has still been bad at drafting. And what exactly has Cliff Kingsbury done? You don't get to level the argument towards Kyler. What have you done? And I'm sitting there looking at his head coach going, we got years going before you were the head coach of this team. What have you done? What the hell are we extending you for?
What we need is a second coach for the second part of the season. Then
just like a second head coach, head coach 1B.
As soon as you get to a certain point, it's like, all right, skinny jeans, sit down. All right, your turn. Tag them in. It's like tag team. You know?
Have you guys noticed what I've noticed the last few days?
Yes.
About Kyler Murray's agent and what he's releasing out there.
Well, I know what he released
noticed?
last time, but what's the latest?
Well, I just keep seeing now. The headline is now Kyler wants to be the quarterback of the Cardinals for a long, long time. I feel like that's sort of a, oh, geez, I didn't mean to upset the apple cart here. I just meant to do some real serious negotiating. Maybe I should have rethought about how I was going to approach this thing, because all you see now is Kyler wants to be the quarterback of the Cardinals for a long, long time.
Well, he's been saying that, but he wants to be the quarterback for a long, long time right now, damn it. Not he wants to be the quarterback for the Cardinals a long, long time, and we'll talk to you guys in contract negotiations after next year.
Yeah, but you don't see that anymore. You don't see that. He just wants to, he wants the Brinks truck. All it says is Kyler Murray seeks contract extension. He wants to be the quarterback of the Cardinals for a long, long time.
Well, the rest of us know what it means.
CBS Sports. It doesn't matter if I'm on Fox. Doesn't matter if I'm on ESPN, social media. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm seeing, and I just kind of feel like there may be a rethinking going on here about. I didn't realize Arizona was going to come down so hard on Kyler Murray.
I don't think he cares because he has a small audience. The audience is Michael Bidwell, and it really not even Cliff Kingsbury or Steve Keim. It's just Bidwell.
You know who does care and who employs this D-bag is Kyler Murray. He's probably like, look, dude, they just turned up the gas and they're trying to kill me, bro.
Kidding me?
You got to back this up a little.
No. Kyler Murray is loving it because, he doesn't have to do anything. This guy's taking care of it. This guy's saying everything that his young ear hole wants to hear. You're worth a lot more than that, Kyler Murray. None of this was your fault. He's telling him everything he's already thinking. And you got to think that this agent is probably in his ear and head more than you like to see an agent be, because if he's sitting there on the bench at a game's like, oh, they're trying to make me look stupid out there. They're trying to do that. That's not even his own words. That's his agent telling him, don't worry about it. So there's no way. If that is his words, he completely loves this agent. If it's not his words, he's completely listening and loving this agent. So no, Kyler Murray's got zero problem with Burkhardt.
I think what Kyler has a problem with is that what Burkhardt has done is to try and villainize the Cardinals and make Kyler look like the hero. And as Randy said, it completely backfired.
I don't even know he's aware of it.
Kyler's on social media all of the time.
I think
there is no way, because I'm looking at all the Cardinal fans on Twitter and they have turned against it. There's no way a 25-year-old is not on Twitter damn near constantly.
Yeah,
he knows.
Point.
He knows. And I don't think he's loving it. If you ask me, I really think that they thought that this was going to make the Cardinals look bad, make them look good, give them some leverage in negotiations. And
a re-clarification was necessary.
when what it ended up doing was making Kyler look like an even more selfish version of himself. I honestly don't even think Kyler is as selfish as he looks here, but that's what happened. And so now that he's walking it back. Oh, wait, now hold on. Kyler still wants to be here. He doesn't want to leave and go to wherever else. We're not trying to force a trade, even though that's the leverage you're trying to exercise. But no, Kyler wants to be here. And you have to say that, because if you don't, all these fans are looking at you like, well, we believed in you. We bought into you.
Yeah.
I don't think the fan portion matters. I mean, you're probably right.
I don't think it matters.
Kyler Murray is hearing these things and seeing these things on the social media. And you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe it has gotten to him. But the agent is going to say, don't worry about Twitter. Twitter is not a real place. Twitter is filled with malcontents. Your real fans love you. Don't even think about what Twitter is saying. But our real audience is the Cardinals. Our real audience is Michael Bidwell and maybe Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury. And that is the entire focus of what this is all about. They're trying to have Bidwell see this uproar, and it didn't happen. You're absolutely right. But that's where the focus is. It failed, but that's what they were focused on.
I agree with you. I just think that this Eric Burkhart overplayed his hand completely. I mean, when your audience, if your audience is Michael Bidwell, scrubbing your entire social media of everything Cardinals is not speaking to that particular audience well.
Mm-hmm.
It's mixed messaging. Do you want to talk to Bidwell or do you want to talk to the fans? And it seems like they screwed up at talking to both.
Yep.
I'm telling you, there was a reclassification. I can feel it in my old bones. There was a reclassification here.
So do you think that maybe Bidwell is more shrewd than I have thought? And so Bidwell's like, oh, really? Okay. Kyler Murray wants an extension. Hey, Cliff, Steve, would you like an extension? I'm going to extend everybody I can before I extend that midget.
I think it's going to be a very interesting summer for the Arizona Cardinals.
I don't know
what I think.
If that's what he did, only because you can extend the general manager and extend the coach without cap space issues and concerns.
It still is going to get in his craw.
It is. It is. And I'm sure it's going to bother him. Of course, the fact that Kingsbury and Kyler share an agent. And so Kingsbury gets the extension and Kyler does not get the extension. Well, what kind of spin game is Burkhart having to now turn around and tell Kyler to explain why, my one client who coaches you, he's got more money. You don't. I'm still working on it. Like, what is he gonna have to do and say?
Burkhart, what's the dealio? Cliffy just got a pay raise. Where's mine at? Just be patient, Kyler. Just be patient, dear God. Don't leave me, please, dear God. Don't leave me. You're my biggest client. Don't leave me. You're my number one. I promise you. You're my number. What are you doing, bro? I followed your directions, and Cliff gets an extension. Keim, Mr. Drunky Drunk, gets an extension. Where's my $55 million a year that I want? Give me a break.
I'm telling you right now, he has him schmoozed really good. I don't think Kyler is blowing back on him as hard as you guys think he is.
I don't think he is. But I do think that Burkhart is walking back some of these comments because I don't think he realizes, or I think he realizes it's not making him look good.
That was a nice try. Moving on.
There was a reclarification here.
So here's a Fitzgerald saying something. It's not Larry Fitzgerald Jr., it's Senior. And I guess somebody talked to him about the whole Kyler Murray thing. And, of course, Larry said only nice, wonderful things about Kyler. But Larry Fitzgerald Sr. is like, he's spoiled. Yeah. He brings his Oklahoma offense to the NFL. The team has to catch up. Great talent. He's never been humbled. So keep working. Okay. There's a lot to go there. And when old people tweet, it's sort of, you don't know where the punctuation was supposed to be.
Right.
But basically he says he's spoiled. Kyler Murray is a spoiled brat coming from Larry Fitzgerald's dad.
Who, I don't think he has any reason to be dishonest about that. And
I do not disagree one iota with that statement.
Yeah, I think Kyler is a guy, like a lot of guys that play quarterback in the NFL, that they've never really been punched in the mouth.
Well, Larry Fitzgerald dad says he's spoiled. Randy White says he's spoiled. Most every Arizona Cardinals fan says he's spoiled. And I guess the Cardinals aren't paying him right now for the next time around probably means they think he's spoiled too.
It's going to be a very interesting summer in Arizona Cardinal country.
and maybe this is his first punch in the mouth. Maybe this is it. You hope.
Does he seem like a guy who can handle a punch in the mouth very well?
No.
Well, you don't know. It's got to happen first. Then, Mike Tyson, everybody's got a plan until.
Here's the thing, guys. He's still your quarterback next year. Just saying. I'm not saying coddle him, but don't rejoice too much in his destruction because his destruction is your destruction.
Yeah, well.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Bruce Jacobs here again from my friends at ProCopy. For the last year, you've heard me talk about how ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available for over 20 years, plus their outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. Now part of Flex Technologies Group, they are committed to ProCopy's industry leadership and excellence. Whether you have branches anywhere in the U.S. or right here in Arizona, you can count on ProCopy and Flex Technologies for all your office equipment needs. They focus on print, document management, document production, and managed IT, representing the best brands such as Canon and Ricoh. They proudly serve over 35,000 customers nationally. They still remain a local company and continue to give back to the community. The ProCopy Foundation has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Give them a call, 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679, and tell them Bruce Jacobs sent you.
We're on a mission to connect every Arizona service member, veteran, and their families to the support and resources they deserve. If you or someone you know needs assistance with benefits, health care and wellness, employment, or housing, visit connectveterans.org or call 866-4AZ-VETS right now to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-628-6070. 800-628-6070. 800-628-6070. That's 800-628-6070.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs. Protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studio in Scottsdale. Yesterday, I gave away a bunch of tickets for ASU Sun Devil men's basketball for tomorrow night. Well, today, I'm giving away a pair of tickets for Sun Devil men's basketball versus Stanford on Saturday at 1 p.m. So be listening for your chance to win those tickets coming up a little bit later on in the program. Okay, so we've been talking about a great many things in the last hour. I've got a full, just ginormous stack of texts that need to be dealt with so we can clean that up and move on to the rest of the stuff that's happening in the world of sports. So let's go to the text line now, 888-368-1580. Just a Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. So you're talking about Wednesday being the day that What's Bugging Keon segment's going to be on. Well, yeah, we're going to do that here at 418. What's Bugging Keon? He says, you realize what you need to do is find stuff to bug Keon. So fourth dimension, anybody have any ideas? I don't think you need ideas. He's got his own stuff that bugs him.
Yeah.
It's not about the fourth dimension texting in something to piss him off.
Yeah. Just let him figure it out. What bugs him.
Yeah. I know. I prepare for this, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Thanks though.
He comes in. What's the deal with that? So Justin says, when sports turn into soap operas, it sucks. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what's happening with the Arizona Cardinals right now. Navy Brad says, hey, Jeffrey, Arizona Sports Angels question. Have you heard from the kids that received those golf clubs, how they like them and stuff? I know that when all that was delivered, everybody was thrilled, but the next step was going to be making sure the right clubs fit the right kids, making sure that, they had divvied up all, because there were more clubs than there were bags. And so there was going to be more sets of clubs than what was even presented, because, people will get what they need. So we are actually going to be traveling back to that school soon. So yeah, we'll definitely get a report on that for you. Last Optimist says, makes sense that non-cap contracts would get resolved this early in the offseason. It's no big deal. Cliff getting extension speaks well for Kyler's future extension. Actually, they're a package deal. So that's probably what the agent's saying to keep Kyler Murray happy. He's like, it's working. Trust me, that sort of thing. Plus, Lost Toby says, Putin's using these things as an excuse to occupy the Ukraine, saying they're denazifying the Ukraine, making themselves the heroes. The president's Jewish and his grandparents were in concentration camps and fought the Nazis. So if that gets back to the Russian people, which I'm sure it has, they're just too scared to say anything about it. Augie says, win or lose, I will always be a Lakers fan. I was a fan when we had Divock. Now this Laker team, yes, they're hurting. They need to learn to win, but ultimately they need to get rid of Westbrook and Davis for some draft picks. Start going younger. Is that what the Lakers need to do?
Well, with Westbrook, which they didn't do at the trade deadline, but they needed to move on from Westbrook because it seemed like on paper there's a good fit. LeBron doesn't have to carry the entire load by himself. Here's another guy that can go after it, get buckets on his own, but it's not working. It's not a good fit. But Davis, that's tougher because his problem is that he's injury prone, not that he's a bad player or not even that he's too old. I mean, Anthony Davis is still in his prime. It's, can you get him to be healthy enough to be any use to you?
Can't get anybody to be healthy.
Yeah, that's just the thing is
you just assume that
you
track record is going to tell you what's next.
Yeah. And you hope that, because he has had seasons where he has been healthy for majority of the season, but especially when you get to the playoffs, you have to have him if you want to win a ring or even compete. And they don't have a healthy Anthony Davis in the postseason most years.
Blissful Hayes says, did Michael Bidwell include a case of Jack Daniels for Steve Keim's contract extension? Nah, clearly he knows where to get the stuff. Cards Chappie says, since we're going here, how in the world does Keim and Kingsbury deserve 6 years? You know what, guys? My wife said the same thing. And I said, they can fire him at any minute.
Yeah.
These aren't the same kinds of contracts. You know what I mean? It's not the same sort of hit thing, and it doesn't hit a cap. I don't know if we're going to get full details on how much of an out there is on a contract like that. Whoa, the heck was that? I think we just lost Randy. Randy, are you there? Yeah, we just lost Randy. Can you go ahead and take him off the tile line? That was weird. Like it, like electrocuted
there was like
me.
a pop in my ears. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, you see how Randy's all frozen on the screen there? He lost his entire internets. Wow, that reminded me of the old stand-up days. Sometimes there'd be. You go up to the mic and there'd be like a little, and like it's electrified. You're like, I hope I'm not standing in water. Anyway, Robert in Surprise says, I think a good nickname for Kyler Murray is Juicy Fruit. That way Cardinals can pay him by the foot. I don't get that. Good Cat says, it is a long time for a Smurf, different increments for regular people. You'd have to ask a Smurf. Fed Fan says that agent represents skinny jeans too, you know. Yeah, we know. He said the GM and coach contract extension actually has been in the works for a while. And who cares how Kyler feels? I want to know how Randy feels. Well, if Randy can get reconnected, he'll tell us. So we'll come back around to that. Just Tip says, I already read that. Watermelon says, sounds like those guys need to watch Jerry Maguire. I think that might be the problem. You're screaming, show me the money a little early. Boogie says, I do think it's going to test the maturity and the salt of Kyler Murray. It'll humble him it'll make a fool of himself, possibly. I think he's immature. Next month, this will be interesting. Hot dog waters here. Hefty Lefty. I can't explain the meme. Last Optimist says, if I wanted a sports soap opera, I'd be watching AEW. What's AEW?
It's the wrestling. It's the other pro wrestling.
Dear God. Yeah, I agree. And no, even if I wanted a soap opera, I wouldn't watch fake wrestling. Senior Wake and Bake says, all I got to do is remind Keon he's a Washington Commodes fan. That'll do it. Oh, to bug you.
I mean, I'm aware of it every day I'm alive, but
he's
thanks.
Bugged. Blissful Hayes says, will Kyler Murray's contract be finalized on a post-it note? Can the Cardinals extend Kyler to 6 feet 4 inches? Guys, come on, man. Enough of that. Mr. Pringle says, lost Randy. I thought the station was updated. I don't understand what that means. I mean, updated. Randy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. By the way, there was a slowdown on what you're talking about, Mr. Pringle, but it's still being worked on. Hi, Randy.
Howdy.
Well, we got a hell of a delay there, don't we?
We have a hell of a day, don't we?
No, delay, yes. Good Cat says, when I was young, I was poor. But after years of hard work, I'm no longer young. Hefty Lefty says, I respectfully disagree with my fellow Lakers fans. I think what they need is to trade LeBron and Westbrook. LeBron stalls the offense, even though he's leading scorer. He consistently wastes 8 seconds every possession just walking the ball up the court. Highest ranked portion of their offense is the fast break.
That's a little bit of where people are criticizing Vogel too. They don't seem to have sets that they're comfortable running with or without LeBron. Like, even when LeBron's not on the floor, it's not like the offense moves faster or moves better. And you could say, well, it's sticking with LeBron. It just seems like they just sort of roll the ball out there and play. And so then if you do that, then LeBron's just going to hold on to the ball and try and make something happen.
Don't help the Lakers.
I mean, they're not listening.
Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, I just rewatched the video of you getting zapped on YouTube. I think you're going to star in the next Spider-Man as Electro. Was there a spark right there, or is it just my jolting reaction? Chief Skull says, afternoon, guys. I've been very busy flopping on the floor trying to understand why the Cardinals would extend those two average individuals all the way to 2027. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they can get out of any time they want.
And then, of course, because those contracts are not connected to a cap, there's no dead money, which is why a lot of contracts end up extending into the NFL. Because even if you cut them, that money still counts against the cap. Well, not true for your general manager and coach. You could just fire them whenever and pay it all off if you really feel like it.
Well, it was appropriate of Lost Toby to put a picture of Randy White on the side of a milk carton because he is missing again. He's having some problems over there with his internets. Good Cat says LeBron cares about his brand more than winning. I don't think that's absolutely true. I mean, he does care a lot about his brand, but I think he just has a different mindset. You know, he has a different mindset to things. He has talent. He has physical ability. It ain't what it used to be, but it's there. But I think what it is you brought it up earlier, the body language of LeBron. If it's stuff starts to be hard or isn't going his way, he gets dejected, almost like he expects everything to just happen for him. And when things don't go his way, he sort of just shuts down a little bit or just doesn't care. You saw it on the court, did not care.
No.
So, don't see Michael Jordan doing that.
No,
I don't see any of the guys we've put up there in the GOAT conversation giving up just because they might be surrounded by some lackluster players. Did you see Michael Jordan when he was on the Wizards playing like LeBron's playing?
No, Michael Jordan could no longer jump and dunk at the level that he was before.
But he never gave up like LeBron has.
And I was a little kid. I watched Michael Jordan put up 50 points in a game. I
see.
That's how I got stuck being a Wizards fan.
So that is the difference. Next time somebody wants a GOAT conversation, team's doing bad. LeBron's, I know. The team's doing bad. Michael Jordan is still like, we can do this. Let's do this.
And Michael might go too far the other. Michael might chew your ass out.
Yeah, and he would do that. He would yell at other players.
But there's no quitting him at all in that standpoint. No,
I can't quit you. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Baffled by the lengthy 5-year contract extensions. Actually, it's 6 that both Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury got today. I guess Michael Bidwell would rather keep his friends as GM and coach and not actually try to make the team better. These guys should be getting fired, not extended.
Well, that the issue is the argument for extending them is you already held on to them. So I assume you think there's some value there. They made the playoffs. You can look at the record. They've improved year after year. Maybe there's something to letting them fail first.
Mm-hmm.
But the 6-year extension seems
a bit
lot
much
to me. Yeah.
Yeah. And let me tell you a story about my GM. I love my GM. Chris Ballard has been a magician in the draft. That said, he's barely over 500 when it comes to wins since he's been general manager. And I'd have to say he's on a hot seat because, yes, he's put some really great players into play. Yes, he has drafted. Yes, he's grabbed some little nuggets of superstardom out of nothing nobody saw coming and has helped build the Colts into a good, solid team, just add quarterback. But you can't blame him for the fumbles. You can't blame him for the team mistakes, but his record is that. And yes, he got bitched out pretty good by Jim Irsay at the end of the season because of the way they did in those last 2 games. Irsay sat down with Frank Reich and Chris Ballard, and he gave it to him. And they're like, yeah, fair enough. But so it would really pain me to see next year Chris Ballard, who is a really good GM, 10 times a better GM than Keim, get fired while Keim still has a job. That would just hurt me.
It would, especially because of the just add quarterback part that you said, where that's the hill that a lot of GMs, great general managers, have been fired because they couldn't quite get the quarterback. That's the hard part, especially if you've built a good team and you're not able to draft a top quarterback because you don't stink badly enough to draft 1, 2, or 3, and then those top guys, your Trevor Lawrences, and those guys, you're not even close to being able to draft them. And here Keim's kind of fallen backwards into Kyler Murray, and this team has good pieces on it, but he struggled to draft well. Some of his free agent signings haven't exactly worked out. So it would stink, I think, to see a guy like that continue on when there are other great GMs who they're missing that quarterback. Keim has his quarterback, and look what happens to him in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah, he has most of a quarterback. Randy, while you were having some difficulties there with the Ukrainian satellite that you use, Fed fan said, who cares how Kyler feels? I want to know how Randy White feels.
Well, I mean, I think I started when this whole thing happened. I'm very disappointed. I'm extremely confused at why Keim and Kingsbury. I can understand why, but this is not what championship ball clubs do. This is not what they do. They don't stay unless you're winning championships with these two guys. With all the stuff we've gone through with them, they don't stay with them and then extend them on for mediocrity. Don't settle for mediocrity. Reach for excellence in everything you do. Don't settle for mediocrity. I mean, I'm sorry, but he's running this as a business. I don't really care is probably the idea. I'm making millions and millions of dollars. I don't really care as long as my business is profitable and these guys keep me in the forefront. So I'm disappointed as a fan. I'm disappointed in Kyler, Kingsbury, Keim, and also Mr. Bidwell for allowing this to happen.
All right. Am I correct? And somebody may have to get their Google foo on, but am I correct in assuming that every game for the Arizona Cardinals last year was a sellout? Then you start thinking it's not financially going to hurt Bidwell to do this, and even if the team isn't winning Super Bowls, it's still technically a winning team, right? Maybe
why reach for excellence when you can settle for mediocrity?
So I'm saying maybe they're not reaching for excellence, and that's a heartbreaking thing right there for all the Cardinal fans who've been hoping and hurting on every single bad quarterback and every single bad play, and loving Larry Fitzgerald and loving these Cardinals and showing up for them in every way possible. That's the one thing. People can say that Phoenix is a fair weather fan town, but when it's come to the Cardinals, man, the people of this state have been there for the Cardinals. They come and go for the Suns. They come and go for the Diamondbacks. They definitely have sort of almost shown up for the Coyotes. But as far as the Cardinals go, ever since they got here, I'm not saying it's been sellouts the entire time, but I'm just saying the people of Arizona have stepped up for the Cardinals. And it'd be nice to see them do the same for them.
Yeah. Well said.
Boogie says Cardinals have sold out 58 games in a row at University of Phoenix Stadium, State Farm Stadium, whatever it's called. In fact, every game they've ever played there, preseason and postseason included. Can't say that at FedEx Field, can you?
Well, of course,
I don't even know if I can say that at Lucas Oil Field.
I mean, maybe not, but FedEx Field is a dump. And, fans actually purposely stopped going last season because, well,
it's the only voice they had to tell them how bad it was.
Yeah. And then what happened after the bye week? They started winning a few more games.
Like,
the fans kind of came back around. But
peeking over the fence.
To add to that, by the way, the Cardinals' numbers last season were the best attendance numbers they've had in the last 3 years.
The Cardinals since 2017. Okay. Since the past 5 years, the Cardinals are 35-45 just against the NFC West over the past 5 years.
Woof.
The Los Angeles Rams are 55-26 against the NFC West. The 49ers are 39-42 against the NFC West, and the Seahawks are 49-32 against the NFC West. The Cardinals are dead last against the NFC West since over the last 5 seasons. And Cliff Kingsbury's been here, 3?
You are correct. He's been here since Kyler's been here.
I mean, and Mr. Bidwell is okay with this mediocrity. He's okay with allowing this to happen. Since Cliff has been here, we are dead last. 24. We're 24-24 against the NFC West in the last 3 seasons since Cliff Kingsbury's been here.
Something got to change, or you start losing people. I don't know.
I mean, if that doesn't say how disappointed I am, then I don't know what will.
Big George says, here, Randy. I agree 100%. Randy for Cardinals GM. I don't think it's a voted in kind of position, but
I don't think so.
I think Randy could work the phones like nobody's business. Senior Wakenbake says, hey, Cardinals, your fan front office bites. Kyler Murray is only 3/4 of a back. Santa's number one helper says, midget needs to get packing. Has 2 years on his current deal. Wait, I thought he only had 1 year left in his current deal.
He's got one.
Yeah. Play better. Communicate with your offensive line and wide receivers. It's pathetic seeing entitled people trying to get their way.
Yep.
Everything you said was correct, except for, it's just 1 year. 888-368-1580. We got to take a break. When we come back, I can already tell what's bugging you guys on the text line. Let's find out what's bugging Keon. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cub Spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
It's time to spread game. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming with an all-new tour. 4 quarters of big plays, ankle-breaking moves, and ball-handling wizardry. Do they dunk? Do they dunk? See the stars rattle the rim in the all-new in-game dunk contest. This is the team everyone can cheer for. The Spread Game Tour is coming. Playing in Phoenix and Glendale on March 5th and 6th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. That's 800-807-1981.
Today, someone will clearly understand their doctor because they have an Arizona licensed American Sign Language interpreter at the appointment. Today, someone will use a voice amplifying device to have a meaningful conversation. Today, someone among the more than 1 million deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind Arizonans will enjoy greater accessibility and effective communication thanks to the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. To learn more, visit acdhh.org, sponsored by the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing.
College basketball is on the Fanatic. Are you ready for the madness? GCU is charging through the WAC on a collision course for the big dance. Catch their games live on the home of GCU basketball. We catch up with the best the NCAA has to offer. When it comes to college basketball, we are your home for all the action. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back, Daily Blender here on this Wednesday, Whiskey Wednesday, and beautiful skies, getting warm out there, 80s for the high throughout the week, and just beautiful overnight. So if you get a chance to sit outside at night, that's going to be nice. You know, when you're out on the back patio there in the evening, you might want to look up some opportunities for you to get in and win with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. One of my favorite things is finding a new player props and game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel is you can combine prop bets from multiple games and now multiple sports. So let's say the Suns are playing and I like something they're doing. I might set up a couple of legs on a same game parlay there. And then I might like something that, I don't know, the Colorado Avalanche are doing. And I might pick up on some of that action. I can combine that into a same game parlay, and I can do that and make maybe my small investment grow when it hits. If you don't want to build your own same game parlay, you can check out a popular same game parlay section where you can join bets others are jumping in on. Just a few weeks ago, there were a lot of the users, about 14,000 customers, that won a total of $1.1 million during the Bucks at Lakers game, no pun intended. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code Randy1580. You get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code Randy1580 so they know I sent you. Remember, 21 and older, present in Arizona, first online real money wager only. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, or text NEXT STEP to 53342, Jeffco.
Nice if my microphone was on, Keon. Thanks.
I thought it was, my bad.
He's just so not used to me standing in the actual studio.
I looked over at this.
He's like, Randy's like, I went this whole time. You guys could have told me I was off.
You guys have been talking about me and I didn't even know I was off the air.
No, it's Keon just forgetting that I'm actually in person.
It's going to take some getting used to.
So I was reading something here on this Ash Wednesday thing. You know, earlier we were talking about how the whole Ukrainian and Russian thing where, you know, we're seeing pictures of like guys with Nazi flags, and people say, well, no, that's propaganda by the Russians just to make the Ukrainians look bad because they've been pushing that. And you got to be careful what you see on the internet. But all the stories of racism from some of the people trying to get out of the country. I don't believe that's propaganda. I do believe those stories are real, and that needs to be dealt with later. But I was like, okay, well, you gotta be careful what you read on the internet. And then I went back to this thing I have here about Ash Wednesday. And I'm not sure if this is true or not. So, Randy, I know you would know better than me, but the Ash Wednesday thing, it's a Christian holy day of prayer and fasting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I understand the tradition to be.
And that the ashes that are rubbed on the foreheads of the believers comes from the palm fronds that were used to burn witches.
No.
See, that's why I got to find a better website to get my information. I mean, you got to be careful out there, people. That's all I'm saying.
Part A correct, part B.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, the whole thing with the people saying that they couldn't get a ride on a bus because they were black, or because the Indian people saying that they had to, wait in line, but other people were going through first. That stuff, actually, you've seen the interviews, and that has made the actual news. That's just not just what I just read there, which, by the way, I should have known better when I saw the car from Supernatural sitting there in one of the pictures on the Wikipedia. I might have been in the wrong place. I might have been in the wrong place. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for What's Bugging Keon. This is our way of trying to let him vent so we avoid that flash anger from Keon. What's bugging you, Keon?
I can tell you what's bugging me today is the same thing that I think is bugging a lot of fans in Major League Baseball. It is just this entire lockout situation. But I'll be specific this time. And I will go after Rob Manfred, who I think somehow, despite the fact that he is an incompetent buffoon, has managed to skate away on this as just a puppet, just a guy who has no responsibility because he's beholden to the owners. Rob Manfred is in charge of a lot of things. Rob Manfred is in charge of the timelines of some things that wind up happening. So when the CBA expired December 1st, the fact that we didn't have anything moving on December 2nd, well, that's Rob Manfred's fault. I think that is him. I think that when it's time to start negotiating, the guy that's supposed to be the politician in the room to get a lot of these owners on the same page, that's Rob Manfred's job. You know, you got 8 owners, potentially 8 teams that may be stalling this entire thing, and it takes 8 to veto. Rob, do your job. Try and flip one of them.
Just one.
Can you get one of them to agree to something, Rob? Can you? Or how about last year when we had when we had the season shortened due to COVID, and Rob Manfred waited until literally the last possible moment to determine what the schedule was going to be and what those rules were going to be moving into that Major League Baseball season. What rules are we going to carry on? That second base runner in the extra innings. You know, he basically rammed that through because no one else had the chance to oppose it because he waited way too long for that to happen. Rob Manfred might be the worst sports commissioner of our lives. That is, he's in there with some pretty stiff company. David Stern at the end wasn't great. Paul Tagliabue has definitely had a lot of things going on with him in his tenure as commissioner. But Rob Manfred, it's early days for him, and the returns aren't great. And the problem that I have with this is it's just the fans who suffer every single time. Yep. And part of it is, I understand that Rob Manfred works for these owners, but there are things that the commissioner is supposed to be able to do in terms of structuring what these conversations are so that they go a whole lot more smoothly and go a whole lot more easily. And I don't want Rob Manfred to skate by on not having the responsibility of his job, which is these dates, these times, they matter. You can't just act like you can do this all willy-nilly. And when it comes to a negotiation as important as all this, well, people are losing their livelihood behind this, stadium workers, of course, as well as some of these baseball players that aren't making the millions and millions of dollars. And I blame Rob Manfred a huge chunk for that. And that's what's bugging me today.
Guys, who's bugging Keon today?
Wow.
So, all right, a couple of things about what you said there. Is he the worst, Randy?
He might be.
Is he the worst commissioner of a sport ever? Remember the guy? I don't know soccer that well, but isn't that guy that went to jail for the FIFA? He might have been the worst ever.
Well, I think speaking specifically of the four major sports here in the United States.
Okay.
Because with FIFA, also it's technically not a league; it's the international. So like FIBA, for instance, is the international basketball thing.
It's the federal federal or
it's
no
the Federation of
the Federation of International
FDIC.
Football.
They're insured.
Something.
So, okay. So, Randy, what do you think about what he said there? Do you think he's the worst? I mean, I know it's what's bugging you.
Also,
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm just one more thing that I forgot to mention. Rob Manfred chuckling and laughing at his press conference yesterday to explain to the fans and to the people why there's going to be no baseball. Is this funny to you, Rob?
Because he knows what I know. They can still make a World Series happen with 100 games. He knows that now it's just, he's helping his buddies, the owners, like Roger Goodell, who helps his buddies, the owners, to get what they want. He doesn't care what the players want. He's just trying to put on a nice face on it. But as you know, Steve Keim may be functioning in the world of alcohol. Rob Manfred, not as much. And, as you've seen him do, he's not really good with PR. And, but his job is just to tee up the owners for success. And he's doing that right now.
It's just, I mean, it's just, we're talking about a guy that once called the World Series trophy a piece of metal. So that's I don't have any respect for Rob Manfred at all.
Yeah. I understand exactly what Keon's saying. And I yes, you're right. He does have some power, very little power, but the rest of the owners have their proverbial collective hand up his backside, and they are controlling what he says and what he does. He is a puppet for the owners. And here's the thing too. You're exactly right. When he was giggling about whatever it was, trying to explain why he's canceling games, I thought that was very disrespectful. And read the room, Rob. Read the damn room. Just like when you made the comment about the World Series trophy, he is quite possible. He is the worst baseball commissioner ever, in my opinion, and he could be, he could be the worst American sports commissioner ever.
Fair enough. I mean, right now, again, you say he's newer, so he's like a rookie. He's like only a couple of years in, so you got to give him a few more years before you really give him that trophy.
I don't want to say he's the worst ever.
Don't get too ahead of yourself.
But he's on pace.
Yeah, he the Hall of Fame, a horrible career. So
it's not like his counterpart, the union president, Tony Clark. Tony Clark is an active president. He is, yes, he is a mouthpiece for the players, but he has power. He's been enacted to run this organization and to speak for the players. Yes, there are some protocols he needs to follow to make a decision, but he also has a vast majority of authority to make decisions without speaking to the players involved as well. So Tony Clark has some authority and can speak with a realism. He doesn't have a group of billionaires behind him telling him what to say and how to act. And just one comment, since we're talking about this, I know we were beating up these 8 owners that want a mediocrity and want to run their teams and make money. However, think about this: if the owners that were speaking up yesterday and negotiating for the ownership group and for Major League Baseball were to cave in and to go ahead and give in to whatever the players union want. And by the way, only a third of the players are making extraordinary amounts of money. 2/3 of the players' population at the Major League level make the minimum salary. So keep that in mind. If the 8 owners that we're talking about were allowed to let this salary cap, quote air quotes, go as high as the owners union or the players union wants, those 8 markets would no longer be able, they could lose touch with the likes of New York Yankees, a Boston Red Sox, a Los Angeles Dodgers, the rich teams, which I'm not saying this is right and I'm not saying it's wrong. The rich teams would have a wealth of talent, and these other guys, you'd see no more Cinderella teams like the Tampa Bay Devil Rays most recently coming on here, because they will get so outpaced by these other teams. It will become a survival of the fittest. And you might see baseball, smaller teams go away because they just cannot, the ownership groups cannot or are not willing to spend the money to compete against these big empires like the Yankees, Cubs, Dodgers, all those guys.
They'd have to kind of restructure the way they do things because the Major League Baseball doesn't want to contract. They want to expand.
Exactly.
So Major League Baseball, it has got to be against the actions of those 8. But something did strike me. And that's why I was kind of smiling. I'm always looking for the conspiracy. I'm always looking for the liars and the devious. I generally find them. I have a really good record. But as I'm sitting there thinking, 8 teams, there's 8 teams, and that's all you need for a veto. How much you want to bet the 8 teams showed up and the other people who agreed with them hung back? There's always was going to be 8 teams. The rest of Major League Baseball, or a large amount of them, probably agree.
Why open your mouth and make yourself the 9th team?
Exactly.
if you don't need to be the 9th. No, there's something to that.
So they opened the door, 8 went through, and the rest went nope. And then, of course, I'm sure they were like, "Oh God damn it!"
And the thing is, the 8,
yeah,
the 8 are the usual suspects.
Well, and let's keep in mind, guys. Let's keep in mind there are some ownership groups that have brought baseballs to community, and they've done a good thing. Now, I'm not saying that that's what the Diamondbacks are doing. I'm not saying anything like that. But you could see some of these small teams, small market teams, go away. But I submit the example of the San Diego Padres, who outspent almost the Dodgers organization in pursuit of a championship. And they ended up 3rd in the National League West last year, behind the Giants, then the Dodgers, then it was the Padres. They spent copious amounts of money trying to chase a World Series championship, and we'll see what happened. And ownership groups just don't want to do that. They don't want to spend copious amounts of money to see it fall flat on the floor.
We got a lot of people with a lot to say about what was bugging Keon. We'll come back and we'll see what they have to say. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cubs spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. That's 800-438-8173.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
I have a pair of tickets. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And yes, Sun Devil men's basketball versus Stanford happens on Saturday at Desert Financial Arena in Tempe. I got 2 tickets to that paradise. Be listening for your chance to win. 888-368-1580. Right now, let's go to the text line. So Keon shared with us what's bugging him, and that's basically Rob Manfred, just to make it a brief explanation. And do you feel better now? Does it feel better to get that off your chest? Are you starting to feel a cathartic release whenever you tell us what's bugging
Jeffrey,
you?
did you just say farted?
No, cathartic. Cathartic.
Oh, pardon me. Sorry.
Who catharted?
Yeah, no, I feel good. You know, just it's nice. It's all in there. Just a bunch of anger and rage, and just a nice release every once in a while is great.
See, what we need to do is get one of those punching clowns. Remember those, Randy?
Yes.
And every time Keon does what's bugging you, we put a picture of whatever it is that's bugging him on the face of the punching clown.
Yeah.
And then we let him just go to town on it.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, boom. I don't know where we'd find one of those. They still sell those?
Maybe a dollar store or something.
Yeah, it's got to be like Walmart or something. I don't know.
Or we got to get an official punching bag in here, because I have a feeling that Keon it might hurt some things. You know.
Hey, there we go.
So
there we go.
We'll think about that. 888-368-1580. Let's go to the text line, see what everybody has to say about all this. Senior Wakenbake says, screw Major League Baseball. Hey, Venezuelan League, come on down. By the way, while this is all happening, college baseball is still happening. You know, there's still baseball to watch. It's just not Major League. Fed Fan says, as a Suns fan, Stern was the worst commissioner, hands down.
Huh? Well, the issue with David Stern is that his commissionership was so long that it's a commissionership in 2 acts. So the second act of David Stern's commissionership, awful. Like he just, I don't know what he was necessarily doing. I think he was just trying to do stuff that was great for the league, but he was doing things that crossed the bounds of what a commissioner ought to be doing. A commissioner should not be denying trades from one team to another team and things like that.
Right.
I mean, it's just absolutely, he was just completely beyond it. But everything that David Stern did in the 80s and early 90s to build the NBA up into what it would ultimately become under Michael Jordan, I think that he deserves credit for that. So I don't think that he gets to be the worst in the totality of him being commissioner. But yeah, that second act of David Stern is one of the worst runs of commissioner that probably anyone's ever had.
Well, here's how you make the determination. And that is, how many years was Stern the worst versus how many years is Manfred the worst? So Stern may have it up on Manfred, but Manfred, number one with a bullet, it seems like right now. Blissel Hayes says, I do like Manfred's Wrapped Up Like a Douche song, though. I don't think
so. Manfred Mann's Earth Band. I don't think that's Rob Manfred.
I think it's a different guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Pringle says, I think the 1-800 Next Step operator thinks I'm hitting on her with the amount of times I have to call.
Could be.
Says, I just can't stop.
It's a good point.
Gambling.
Yeah, good point.
Let's see. Hefty Lefty says, I don't think Rob can read at all. And he's, by the way, the internet does have some crazy stuff. That's why I get important videos from the hub.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know, do I?
No.
Gonna move on. Fighting Lumpa says best commissioner of all time, Gordon.
Batman.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a good point. Yeah.
I refuse on principle to see any new Batman movies ever.
Unless it's got a different twist to it, man.
Why we don't need
a different fiend. A different fiend. If you're going to do a movie.
All right, then I want Batman to be the bad guy.
Well, okay. You want Batman to be the bad guy?
I want him to murder a whole lot of people.
No, I don't know about that.
I mean,
he's Batman.
I want Batman to be the bad guy. I want the Joker to be the good guy. All the criminals got together and they got to stop this guy, but they get a bad rep doing it because, Batman has better PR.
No.
I'd like to kill the Batman.
That's completely upside down, Jeff. Go.
I want to kill the Batman.
Wow.
Just stop making these movies, please. Let's see. Fish Tank says, I'm confused in how the cap would hurt the teams at the bottom. Wouldn't that force the higher market teams to cap out, run out of money and spend, and then those players would have to sign with the lower market teams like it works in the NFL?
Well,
genuinely just asking. It just doesn't seem to follow.
Well, the cap, if it keeps moving, which it does every year or 2 years, it keeps moving up and up and up, meaning that talent can make more and more and more. All the A-ball players end up with the teams that can afford to pay the salary cap and the luxury tax, if you will, or at least hit the salary cap. There are some teams that can't afford a $238 million payroll. Look up the payrolls for some of the baseball teams around the leagues. You'll see they're not anywhere close to $238 million.
Augie says, is it a gambling problem if I keep winning? No, it's not. Here's the thing. The gambling problem is presented by how you handle things when you start losing.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you find out when you have the problem. If you keep winning, how could you even think of it as a problem?
You can't think of it as a problem because the problem with gambling is when you lose, usually you go, okay, I'm trying to get back to where I was. So then you double up instead of being patient like you're supposed to, like we always talk about with Josh Alpapov. And then you find yourself in this spiral of constantly betting more and more, trying to catch up. So if you keep winning, then you don't really have a problem yet.
Right. It's how you handle things when you don't win. And that's a problem for a lot of Patriot fans. All those years and years and years of winning and getting Super Bowls, then they're not. They don't know what to do with themselves.
They're having withdrawals now.
Excuse me. Hamilton Porter says, Jeffrey, watch The Long Halloween on HBO Max. Best Batman ever. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I did see
Halloween.
I saw a preview for a Killer Baby show on the HBO.
Chucky?
No, just a baby. It's a series. It's a murderous baby.
Are you talking about like a toddler?
No, a baby. A killer baby.
Like a toddler?
How does it kill?
I don't know.
Does it toddle around and beat people to death with its baba?
I think it's a dark comedy. I think it might be called Killer Baby.
Okay.
If it's not, it's something. Just Google Killer Baby at HBO, and I watched the trailer, and I was like, this is either an amazing dark comedy or a really horrible show.
All right.
But I'm not making this up. So if you tell me The Long Halloween, I'm still going to be a little bit skeptical.
It's just called The Baby.
The Baby.
And it's a horror comedy.
Mm-hmm. Killer Baby.
And it's just it's like an infant. Just
the end of the trailer has some kid over there over the baby's buggy with a balloon kind of popping it on the head going tung 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 tung, and the mom runs over. Are you crazy? This kid will murder you. It's gonna be a horrible show.
Wow.
Good Cat says the "What's Bugging You" reminds me of the Family Guy skit of "What Grinds My Gears." Does a little bit.
Yeah.
We should make you put on like a shirt and a tie for that for this segment.
I'll bring one and leave it here.
Navy Devil says Tony Clark lives about 2 miles from my house in North Peoria.
Does he?
Bragging.
All right.
Lost Toby says I started watching the Gotham series. I dig it.
Gotham.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was on Fox.
It was a series based around the Joker.
Yeah, it's a prequel kind of thing. So it's Gotham, with its villains just starting to get there before Bruce Wayne is Batman. I think he's still a kid, actually.
There should be a prequel back to a day when I also didn't care. 888-368-1580. Big George says, yeah, this new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, aka Edward from Twilight, as Batman. And oh yeah, he dated Kristen Stewart for way too long. And then she kind of dates girls now. So how could it go wrong?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about, George. Pro Dog earlier said, okay, guys, listen. Last year, Cardinals 4-2, Rams 3-3, Seahawks 3-3, 49ers 2-4. If the Cardinals win the last game against the Seahawks, they'd have the home game in the first round. I think he's talking about the end of the season. Is that what he's talking about? Yeah.
You mean this most recent season here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's right, though. I mean, your Cardinals suffered the same fate as my Colts. All we had to do was win a game. You just had to win a game.
See, but what you don't understand is that's the second year in a row. All we had to do was win a game. We had to win a game the season before the last against the damn Chicago Bears, and we couldn't win that game against BU and a horrible Chicago Bears team. We went in there and choked and crapped the bed then, too. Then we went to the SoFi $5 billion stadium again, and for the third time, and we should have beat the damn Rams there, but no, we crapped the bed.
And I think a lot of us out in here in Cardinal country talked ourselves into, well, they played better on the road, so it was okay that they didn't end up getting that home field advantage to start. But it wound up being very important in this postseason. It was the reverse of the regular season, where being at home helped a lot of teams.
Augie says, when are you going to learn? Kyler Murray is not a Super Bowl quarterback. Sorry, Randy.
Well,
I mean,
I never said he was.
It's only been 3 years. So
I think he's a very good quarterback. He hasn't done anything for this team yet. And I don't think he should be asking for whatever the hell amount of money he wants to ask for right now anyway.
Fish Tank has a question about the logic of caps. He says, isn't it already happening? Aren't those teams already no way near a salary cap? I just don't see how making the top market cap out hurts the low end. Big markets can already spend as much as they want to, right?
Yeah, but then it's also about hard cap versus soft cap. But this seems more of like a softer cap. And if that is the case, then those big market teams are already going to spend a ton of money, like you see in the NBA. It's not like it's easy for the Memphis Grizzlies to go out and acquire people, or the Milwaukee Bucks, who still have people going to the Lakers, going to Brooklyn, to the Nets, going to these big marketplaces, despite the fact that you have a cap.
Senior Reaganbig says, getting capped is different where I'm from. Fed Fan says, you want to watch killer baby movies? Oh, I'm watching YouTube to see how to make a homegrown veggie garden. I guess that's the difference between men and women. That's the difference? Okay.
Wow.
I guess I could accept that. Come on now. You're a little curious, though, aren't you now? Aren't you now? Killer baby.
Homegrown. Oh, killer baby.
Well, nobody's curious about a homegrown veggie garden except for Fed Fan. I don't even think that's fair to put that on women.
Good for you, Fed Fan. Miss Kim has an above ground garden, and she's done very well with it. Good for you. She does that all the time.
I ain't saying that. Listen, I looked up gardening above ground. You and I, Randy, were kind of dealing with the same
about it.
Yours is amazing. Ours is a wooden box with dirt in it. You have a full on Victory Garden backyard. That's nice.
Don't include me. Miss Kim does that, not me.
The thing happened with us is we were getting ready, but it was the wrong time of year, and we had put some seeds in there and a bunch of fertilizer and dirt. And then the lawn guy came along and he was like, "Oh, I need some fertilizer and dirt." Didn't even stop to ask us or think maybe we had seeds in there. So then all of our bushes and our planted pots started sprouting out fruits and vegetables that had no earthly reason being there. Neighbors thought we were nuts growing cantaloupe and tomatoes out of the front planters. And, so yeah, I mean, yours, it turned out better than ours, but we had interference.
Yeah, well, that happens, brother.
Does it really happen? I thought we were the only people that had ever happened to.
You're not, in my time on this planet, as many times as I've circled it, I have come to realize I have not experienced anything that somebody else, at least once, somebody else has experienced as well.
So you had a gardener come to your house, just Without
Well,
asking,
no, I don't have.
dig
I don't have,
up some soil
well,
from a
Jeffrey,
planter,
I
put
mean,
it
I'm
in
not-
other places,
I'm
and then
not-
suddenly, oh look, there's a cucumber. Why? Why is there a cucumber there?
There's cucumber in my yellow bells. Yes, I've never had that personally because I do my own landscaping. You are in another pay range, man. And you can afford to
that's
have
irrelevant.
a crew come out. Yeah, the problem is you got to stand over there and watch them. You got to tell them what they're doing. No, don't take dirt out of there. That's my garden, man.
I would almost guarantee you, nobody listening right now has had happen to them what happened to me when it
I don't
came
know.
to.
I bet there is at least one person in the fourth dimension. I would stake a lunch on it.
You know, I would say then, oh, your gardener's Henry too. Good cat. I'm sorry. Big George says, don't trash gardening now, Jeffrey. That's the ultimate married guy free time killer. Oh, no, I like the idea of gardening. Hell, I'm European in nature, but I'm just saying.
Wait, you garden in the buff?
Who doesn't? It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Saving at the Home Depot means you can do more for less. Like making your laundry and life easier with a Samsung laundry pair with steam technology that eliminates stains and reduces wrinkles and odors. Enjoy savings on top-rated appliances online, in-store, or on the Home Depot app. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. Valid February 10th through March 2nd, 2022. Free delivery applies to orders of $396 or more.
Without education, poverty follows a family one generation after the next. But College Bound AZ provides educational pathway to students starting in the 7th grade and turns dreams into degrees. Your support provides laptops and other things to ignite that journey. To help, Chicago Fest West happens Saturday, March 19th at Mesa Convention Center, and the proceeds benefit College Bound AZ. It's a celebration of Chicago during Cub Spring training through music, food, a classic car show, and more. Get your tickets at ChicagoFestWest.com today.
Have you started your New Year resolution to lose weight you put on last year? This is Stephen McCollum, host of The Main Event here on The Fanatic. If you're like me, it's hard to start your New Year's resolution to lose those unwanted pounds while we're having football playoff parties every weekend. I'm a client with Valley Medical Weight Loss, so I know firsthand that it really works. I get it. There's too much going on to lose the weight you've been saying you're going to lose. But visit one of their 3 Valley locations to find out how fast the visit is and how affordable it is. They take walk-ins, and if you mention The Fanatic or Money Radio, your first week is free at Valley Medical Weight Loss.
Public service announcement from Summit Male Medical. Guys often confuse erectile dysfunction with low testosterone. They are 2 different issues with 2 separate treatments. ED is simply a blood flow issue. Low T is a health issue. Symptoms include lack of muscle mass, gaining a few pounds, low energy, irritability, low libido. At Summit Medical, we treat both because we're experts at both. We've been here in the Valley since 2008. We've treated tens of thousands of patients, not only from here, but all over the country, coming to us specifically. And compare our pricing with others. We are the low price leaders. And combine that with the most experienced staff in the business for ED and PE treatments, and that is an unbeatable combination. We dare you to compare. Please do. So if you're having intimacy issues, please let us show you how we can help you tomorrow if you call today. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. It will be the best call you ever make.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com. and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All right, so we got these ASU tickets to give away very soon. I will be telling you what caller. It ain't now, but it will be soon, where you can get yourself a pair of tickets to go see ASU play Stanford on Saturday at 1 p.m. in Tempe. So be ready for that. 888-368-1580. And I got to tell you, Randy, you're right. You know, I'm the kind of guy, I will admit when I'm wrong. You know,
What's happened?
Well, I was wrong earlier when Keon pointed out that nope, I was wrong. Kyler Murray absolutely was probably in the face of his agent saying, "What are you doing to me, man?" Because he is probably on the social all the time. I guess I come from a different era where usually the athletes just sort of tune out all the bad stuff around them and just focus on themselves and what they're doing. But, you know, so I was wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong and when you are right. And I can say, yes, Randy, you were right.
I was right?
Yep. Lost Toby texted in and said, yeah, my seeds also got spread, but it was the kids. They wanted to build dirt castles. That almost sounded a lot. That almost sounded like a very different kind of text, didn't it? Phrasing, Lost Toby. Says the kids wanted to build dirt castles and then they were building these little dirt. So he's like, yeah, I had stuff growing randomly now all over the yard because of what they did. So
see, there you go.
No, all right, that was kids, but it wasn't a gardener. But okay, so somebody else has had it happen. So you're right, Randy. There's so many people on this planet and so many incidences in life. There's nothing new under the sun.
I just can't believe your landscaper came and said, "Oh, look, a garden. Wham! Let me take that."
Wait, and they were. Can I tell you? They had those little white things, like those little plastic things that had a picture of what was supposed to be growing there. What did he just? Won't be needing this. Pluck, pluck, pluck.
Let me move these cards out of the way. That says something on it. I don't know what it says, but
generally he does a good job. We laughed about it. It's funny because they didn't all come out at once. We had those cantaloupes growing for a while. Then all of a sudden we think, okay, well, it's over. We've got flowers in the front planters. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, "Is that a tomato? What the hell is a tomato doing over there?" Anywho, Good Cat says, "Are mashed potatoes just Irish guacamole?" You are correct. He says, by the way, losing Hop is massive. I get it. The lack of scheme changes falls on Cliff Kingsbury, but not being able to adjust shows how little Kyler is not elite. If he was even in the top 10 of quarterbacks, he would have been able to adjust. Elite, great quarterbacks find a way. Kyler is not elite.
You know, I've said that too, and I wanted to defend Kyler. You guys know I've been a staunch Kyler defender.
Yeah, and you can defend him with the AJ Green drop and stuff. That's about it, right? Is that
yes.
Is there anywhere else that somebody else let him down?
No. Him taking sacks at the most inopportune opportunity,
right.
You know, in
that's on
inopportune
him.
times.
I mean, you can blame the offensive line to a degree. But
not if he's dropping back too far.
Not if he's dropping back too far. That's why I said to a degree, not completely. And also, you play behind him every game. You know what the weaknesses are, right? You know where pressure is usually coming from. You feel that. You adjust. You compensate. You do still take some blame as the quarterback for some of these sacks that happen.
Number one Rattlers fan says, "Can you set me on a date with Fed Fan?" No, I'm not the Fed Fan's matchmaker.
No.
All I can suggest is that we do a remote and she's there, you're there, have a little name tag on it, says number one Rattlers fan, and shoot your shot, buddy. You know, we've had other listeners. You know, I can't remember, was it Good Cat or King of Kittens? Which one? That were like, "Hey, baby." And I think even met up for a friend date. So no, but I'm not going to be the middleman on your love life.
I think that's fair.
Am I?
No,
Well, I mean, I think it should be the Jeffrey O'Brien Love Hookup Show.
That's what we're going to call this now.
The Love Hookup Show.
Welcome to the Jeffrey O'Brien Love Hookup Show. Caller, are you there? No, not doing it. Number one Rattlers fan also says, hey, 17 days until, well, Yep, 17 days till the Rattlers. And yes, we'll be broadcasting the home games here on 1580 The Fanatic. Mr. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, maybe your gardener thought these silly people put their Babe Ruth baseball cards out here in the yard. Let's just move those for them. It wasn't even a yard. It was in a box. Clearly a garden box. Fish Tank says, I watched a horror movie called Slacks about a killer pair of pants. Maybe the worst piece of garbage film I've ever seen. Well,
I'm amazed at what kind of films are out there that have actually got budgets.
Rubber. Remember the one about the killer tire?
Yes, I do actually.
There's killer tires, killer pants, killer cars. Killer baby's actually more interesting than any of those.
Yeah, at least the baby. There's some funny stuff you can do there with the fact that it's a baby and it's going to look all innocent and cute, but also is aggressively murderous. There's some gags there that you can have. I don't know. The tire thing never
didn't make sense.
Just never did.
Hefty Lefty says middlemen are sometimes referred to as fluffers. I don't think that's true.
No.
Fed Fan says, thanks everybody, but I'm really not that interesting. I'm just a normal chick. Well, that is far from true. Fed Fan is very, very awesome. And she loves sports. And she's one of us. And she's like our sister. So you better be worthy of her if you come around and trying to hit on her, because now you got the three of us you got to go through.
Yep.
Of course, Keon's like, no, it's just Randy and Jeffrey. It's like, I don't want any trouble. Hefty Lefty says, nothing I've ever seen tops the Velocipaster. Oh, was that the one where the pastor was part dinosaur or something? Velocipaster? Or how about Abraham Lincoln when he was going versus the zombies? That was fun. There's a lot of really dumb movies out there. You know what I think, Randy?
What do you think, Jeffco?
I think it's time to make Keon answer some phones.
Okay, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. It's a blender alert. It's time to win some tickets.
All right, what caller
is
number?
A ticket alert. Caller number.
I don't know. So
5.
Oh, come on.
16.
50. Caller 50. 888-368
right now.
No, not 50. I can't even be that cruel. How about let's see. Caller 11. Why?
Caller 11.
Because it's seat 5 and 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. There you go.
Caller 11 right now.
888-368-1580. He's still bothered. He loved the old days. I'd be like, caller 3. He's like, well, that makes it easy.
3, I can do that. 1, 2, 3.
Now he has to keep track of the numbers. It's like your caller. Oh crap! What was it? Good Cat says Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Sharknado, Sharktopus. Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones. Hitting the Nut says a great comedy horror movie, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Can I tell you what a bad one was? When I saw John dies in the end. Spoiler alert, he didn't die in the end. I didn't know what to even make of it. Oh, by the way, I have a man card alert. Yes.
You have a man card alert?
Yes.
This is a Daily Blender man card alert. Alert.
That sounds an awful lot like the alert we used for the ticket giveaway.
It's exactly the same.
We should probably maybe invest in some more music.
We're on a budget.
Don't
Radio
I know?
Ron said we're on a budget.
Don't I know it? All right. So remember I told you that about 4,000 douchebags were not going to get their cars. Remember that? All the Porsches and the Lamborghinis and the Audis and stuff like that.
Yes, you told me because of the burning ship. Yes.
Right. It was a huge cargo ship called Felicity Ace. It caught fire while going from Europe to United States. And so what happened was it was on fire. So the Portuguese Navy swooped in, saved the sailors.
How about that?
See, I could have done this a little different. I could have said they saved the seamen, but no, I'm gonna say sailors. They swooped in, they saved all the crew members, and a salvage team extinguished the fire. It took a while, and for a while there, the ship was just floating around with nobody near it because it was just burning so hot from all the lithium batteries. So then they're like, "Oh, hey guys, look over there. Oh, looks like the fire's out." So then they went over to get the ship and. They tried to tow it to land, but the fire had damaged it so much it started taking on water, and it went the full Titanic with 4,000 luxury cars in it.
Oh no!
Tipped over, went. My heart will go on. Bloosh, gone. So
now there are multiple salvage operations in action.
Every douchebag that can swim, this is your opportunity.
We have people in the water.
If you have a popped collar, you best get swimming.
Here, Buffy, hold my tennis racket.
Well, and the other part of this is, the douchebags will, they'll be covered by insurance, right? The bad news is it's like a major environmental mess because the ship had 2,000 metric tons of fuel and another 2,000 metric tons of oil. So,
oh no,
this is not the best thing for the ocean, but still, what is the biggest damage towards douchedom or the environment?
Unfortunately, I think the douchedom will continue on, but the ocean is going to take a hit here. Mother Nature is going to take a hit.
Hey, douchedom, you don't need the car. We already assume you have a small penis. So there you go. That's a Man Talk update right there. All right. So
this
Keon
has been a Man Talk update on the Daily Blender. Man Talk update on the Blender.
Now we have a ticket update on the Daily Blender. Keon is arrived now to update us on who is the winner of the ASU. Why am I not getting music for this then?
You need this? Okay.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
And now here's Keon Rose with a who the hell won the tickets update on the Daily Blender.
It's Lost Toby.
Lost Toby.
Hey!
Congratulations, Lost Toby. There's no parking pass. You'll have to walk. Maybe catch the light rail. I don't know. It's not my problem. But congratulations, Lost Toby. Cold Trickle says, damn it, caller 10. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, he literally said, damn it, on the phone.
No, I believe you. I'd do the same thing. Hefty Lefty says 2,000 metric tons. So that's where Zion has been. Oh, come on, man.
That's not fair.
Don't fat shame the tubby basketball player. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't try to make that fat bastard feel bad. You don't got to give that cellulite lugging pile of what?
Jeffrey.
I'm sticking up for him.
No. Think about what you're saying. You're doing the same thing.
You know what? I'm standing up for him. I don't care what anybody says.
You are standing up for him, but
right now I'm saying, Hefty Lefty, you be kind to that candy-coated slam dunk machine.
Jeffrey.
What?
There, you did it again. Candy-coated. You said candy-coated.
All right, fine.
You could have just said slam dunk.
Lord ass! Sorry, I just I have like Tourette's some days.
Your Zion Tourette's just showed up.
Sorry. Lost Toby says, when Keon told me I won, I called him a liar. I'm just not used to winning.
Well, congratulations.
There you go. Pull the plug says, oh, I was 5 and 9. Yeah, you got to dial fast. Or do you? Because Keon doesn't exactly move quickly through answering the phone.
When I come into the office,
I move as fast as I can.
When I come into the office next week, I'll show you how it's done.
Oh, I could show him. You taught me.
Yeah. It's like, hi, you're 1, hi, you're 2, hi, you're 3, hi, you're 4, hi.
Caller 1, thanks for listening. Caller 2, thanks for listening. Caller 3, thanks for listening. You suck, caller 4. I hate you, caller 5. Randy thinks you're ugly, caller. And then just.
And it just degrades from there.
Hefty Lefty says, I am not fat shaming Zion. He's one of us. One of us. Well, one of us by that, I mean me, he says.
Yeah.
Good Cat says, y'all see Harden already has issues with the Sixer players? No, I did not.
I didn't see that. I have only heard good things about Harden with the Sixers. What happened?
All I know is none of us look surprised. Not one of us went, no, it's
James Harden.
Yeah.
Problem with it couldn't be. Now, I haven't heard anything about it, but
Senior Wakenbeck says, hey, leave Zion and his hubba bubba body alone.
Hey, now take it easy.
So since we had a man talk alert, let's go ahead and have a man talk question here. So you know how they used to have these things that, hey, between Superman and Batman, who'd win in a fight? Well, Superman, because he has laser eyes, right? And it's like, well, between Bugs Bunny and well, okay, those are all silly. But this one caught my attention.
Okay.
Who would win in a fight? Rocky or Rambo?
Rambo.
Sylvester Stallone himself actually weighed in on it. But you answer pretty quick. Why Rambo? Because remember, Rambo, he won't have his guns in the ring.
Yeah, but Rambo's trained to ignore pain.
He has to fight by rules he's not used to. And Rocky,
so it's a boxing match.
Rocky, right? Rocky is just huge, and he's an expert boxer. So
yeah, if it's Rambo and Rocky in a boxing match, then yeah, it's easily Rocky. Where like for instance, it's always like would this boxer beat this MMA fighter? Well, where are they fighting?
Right. It was the same thing with Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. Had it been UFC, Conor would have destroyed him if he could catch him. And in boxing, it should be the other way around. So when it comes to Rocky and Rambo, here's what Sylvester Stallone had to say. And he didn't leave you with much of an answer. He says, if it's two men meeting in the street and going at each other with no rules, if the fighters were to remain upright, Rocky would prevail. I think I think his plastic surgery has pulled his brain back too tight. There's no way in a street fight. It would absolutely be Rambo.
It would favor the literal soldier. Yeah, that's who you would assume would win, right?
Yeah, and then he says, well, if his body punches and right hooks would eventually beat Rambo. If the fight goes to the ground, Rambo will prevail in a bloody, brutal fight to the end.
Well, if they meet on the street, why wouldn't it go to the ground?
Right. Why wouldn't it go to the glass bottle broken on Rocky's head by Rambo? Why wouldn't it be the ear bitten off on both sides of the head by Rambo? Rambo is just a dirty, dirty fighting killer.
See, when you said fight, I thought it was a genuine fight. I didn't know that this was a boxing match in the ring in Las Vegas. Now, if it's a boxing match, Rocky wins.
Well, here's what Sylvester Stallone continued to say. He said, rethinking the scenario, I believe that upon initial contact, since they will not be in the ring, but fighting outside, basically a street fight, Rocky would land the first 5 or 6 blows. If that does not incapacitate Rambo, which I don't think he will unless he's caught clean, Rambo's skill set would definitely be on full display, which means incredibly vicious assaults on the eyes, the throat, every vulnerable part of the body, eventually leading to being pulled to the ground and most likely mauled. Then again, Rocky is incredibly resilient and pretty good on the ground too. That's my opinion. There wasn't an opinion, man. You didn't tell me what the winner would be.
No.
Well, because they're both him. He doesn't want to say.
He says final result is neither man would ever be the same. All right. Okay. Sylvester Stallone, you're not even the best Stallone, so you shouldn't just shut the hell up.
The thing is, he accurately described Rambo winning that fight easily.
Rambo would absolutely yeah.
If it's a street fight, Rambo wins every time.
It's not even close.
Street fight, yeah. In the ring, Rocky has a chance, but I still like Rambo. Rambo's the kind of guy who can get punched in the head many times and still hurt you. So, yeah.
But Rocky can take a lot of abuse. Remember,
that's literally
Drago,
Rocky's thing.
I must break you. Remember that? And he took a lot of abuse from Drago, but he came back. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. I bet Rocky would be clean. Rambo would be on steroids.
Yeah.
You got to remember
that
that part too.
Yeah, probably.
Listen, let's take a break. When we come back, I can already tell that the text line has opinions. Rambo versus Rocky, a fictitious fight for your real world thinking. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now. Here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arnold Palmer Invitational underway from Orlando Thursday. Bryson DeChambeau, the defending champion, withdrawing this year. John Rahm favored at plus 900. Rory McIlroy at plus 1200. Victor Hovland third on the odds board at plus 1600. NBA tonight, the Phoenix Suns at home against the Portland Trailblazers. Phoenix a 13-point home favorite. The over-under set at 228. Many of the top college basketball teams entered this week coming off a loss, including the top six. Gonzaga still number one heading into the weekend, still the odds-on favorite to win the national championship at plus 400. Kentucky at plus 650. Arizona plus 775. And Duke at plus 900. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Covington, Masvidal, the rivalry will be renewed this Saturday night, and FanDuel Sportsbook is making things even more exciting by offering new customers 30-1 odds on either fighter. That's right. You could win $150 on a $5 bet. Just sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook using promo code DALE1580. Pick your fighter and get ready to win big. FanDuel Sportsbook, quick and easy to get started. Get your winnings fast and tons of different bets each and every day. It's super quick to get started, and you can withdraw your winnings in a snap. Don't miss your chance to cash in on one of the biggest fights of the year. Sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook using promo code DALE1580 today. You must be 21 or older and present in Arizona. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Huzzah! Weekends now through April 3rd. Huzzah! Great shopping, a giant crafts market. Your favorite shows.
Be ready to have a great time and don't be afraid to participate.
Huzzah! Just night. Huzzah! Silly fun for the entire family.
Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival.
Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable.
You will adore the Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Huzzah! Weekend now through April 3rd. Discount tickets available at Dashes and Food City or online at arizona.redfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Dashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Pepsi is a proud sponsor of the Arizona Renaissance Festival. Enjoy a Pepsi with royalty at the Renaissance Festival this weekend. Huzzah!
We just can't help it. We have to do it. It's in our DNA. At 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, we have to bring you the most epic moments in sports. NCAA football, NASCAR racing, Arizona Raiders football, golf, Vegas Lakers, March Madness, NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl. Yeah, we can't help it. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Wednesday as we head for the finish line here on the Daily Blender. Covington, Masvidal, they're going to get it on Saturday night.
What?
They're going to get it on. They're going to get in there. We were talking about fighting just a minute ago, Rambo versus Rocky.
Oh, fighting.
Yeah, these guys are going to get it on. They're going to get inside the octagon and get it on.
I thought you meant something else.
This is a rivalry, and these two guys do not like each other. They used to be best friends, used to be very close.
Do you know the real story? Does anybody know the real story of what went wrong between them?
You said they used to be roommates, and one of them got in and ate some food out of the fridge.
I just guessed. I didn't know that was really what happened.
Now, I don't know what the real story is. I just know they hate each other, and they want to inflict pain on each other. You could win $150 on a $5 bet at FanDuel Sportsbook using promo code Randy1580. That's the whole point here. You could put your money down on one of these epic fighters. This is so far the fight of the year. Pick your fighter and get ready to win big, quick and easy to get started. Get your winnings fast. Tons of different sports and bet types to wager on. FanDuel Sportsbook is America's #1 sportsbook. That's why I'm involved with them. It's super quick to get started. You can withdraw your winnings in a snap. Don't miss your chance to cash in on one of the most epic fights of the year. Sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook using promo code Randy1580 today. Remember, you've got to be 21 or older and present in Arizona. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Thank you, Randy. Hey, Keon, are you sure you spelled Lost Toby's real name correctly?
I believe I did. Yeah.
Do you know? Did he tell you how to spell it?
I asked.
Okay, good, because that is not the typical spelling of that. I just wanted to make sure. Hey, listen, I'm not judging. I don't spell my first name typically, so that's why I like to be careful and ask. So I'm in the middle of transferring the tickets over to Lost Toby, who won the tickets there. I hit the button. Now we can move on. 888-368-1580. Do you have word on what the fight was about between these guys?
Yeah, apparently they had the same coach once upon a time,
Mhm.
they don't see the story differently. There's two sides to this, but apparently, according to Masvidal, Covington did not pay the coach, and then walked out basically and found another person to coach him without paying the previous coach. Covington said that's not true, but the two of them have the dispute over the treatment of the coach that they both used to have because they were training in the same gym.
Okay. Well, now that's a righteous reason to be mad at a guy for stiffing your coach. Got to remember, these guys, when they fight in the UFC, they become very close with their coach, and that is a very close relationship. So having your buddy stiff your coach, that's that is fighting. That is fighting stuff right there. Jagdog says, Randy, who's Massengill fighting?
No, it's Masvidal.
Oh, Masvidal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy again?
Kobe
Covington.
All right. So there you go, Jagdog. 888-368-1580. So Masvidal and Covington fighting. Okay, you can bet on that, but you can't bet on Rocky versus Rambo.
No.
That said, we have a lot of opinions on the line here. 888-368-1580. Pull the plug says gunfight Rambo. Well, yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Well, I mean, whether the other guy had guns or not. Fighting Wampa says John J. Rambo would eat things that would make a billy goat puke. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. I think that's a line from the movie, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I don't think a chicken dinner would make me puke, though.
No.
Fed fan says Sylvester Stallone and I share the same birthday. Also, George W. Bush. Lucky me. Yeah, but about the fight, Fed fan. About the fight. Number one Rattlers fan says James Bond versus Bruce Wayne in underwear. I have no idea what you're saying here.
In underwear?
In underwear. No, I think he's trying to say no gadgets.
In underwear with no gadgets?
I don't
What
want
is
to
he? What is he seeing here?
Can it
What-
just mean
what's he got?
shorts and a t-shirt? Why is there going to be underwear?
Just take the gadgets away.
Yeah, no
Well,
gadgets
that's
would be
what I
fine.
asked.
They both
Hey, why's
use
he
lots
got
of
the
gadgets.
underwear here?
Yeah.
What's-
Listen, we're not judging. Listen, we respect your lifestyle, number one Rattlers fan, but didn't have to be in underwear, you know.
And what's the thing about gadgets?
Well, you know, because James Bond and Bruce Wayne both had like laser pens and
Those kind of
gadgets.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
I'm sorry. My bad.
batarangs
Yeah,
and-
my bad.
I mean, I'm not trying to take away number one Rattlers fans, entertainment on that, but
Of course.
Is
I'm
it
just
entertainment
a
or
little,
is it-
little confused by the specific parameters of this fight.
yeah, I respect your life choices.
Is it entertainment or fantasy?
Cold Trickle says Rocky 5, Rock fights Tommy Gunn in a street fight. Rocky kicked his ass.
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about. He says kindergarten cop or commando. Oh, commando all day, every day.
Well,
Well,
I'm just agreeing with you.
Cardinal Art says Charles Bronson Vigilante versus Rambo 1. That's the fight I want to see. Rambo. Come on,
man. Rambo.
I mean, Charles Bronson with a way more superior glare, but outside of that, and that was really people mistake. He was squinting. He couldn't hardly see nothing. That wasn't even a real glare. Hitting the Nut says, as for the sad, smart, stupid, happy question, holy crap. That was like at the beginning of the show. Would you rather be smart and sad, or happy and stupid. He says, I go stupid happy. It's too late in my life to change. You guys were also talking about Russia. Is there something going on in Russia? No, but there's something happening in Ukraine. You might want to turn on the TV.
Yeah.
Big George says, in the battle between Rambo and Rocky, I'd take Rambo. But if you threw in RoboCop, he'd destroy them all.
Well,
anybody with guns for hands is going to win.
Right?
Yes.
Last Optimist says, Rocky, Rambo, I'll take Tucker and Dale over Evil. No, you wouldn't.
What?
If Sylvester Stallone, back in his younger day, made that movie, you would watch that a million times before you'd watch anything else. We all would. In fact, if they wanted to make a CGI version of Rocky versus Rambo, no, we wouldn't watch that. No, it'd have to be a real live action.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah. Navy Brad says, remember Rambo was Special Forces, Medal of Honor recipient. Colonel Troutman would save Rocky from Rambo. It's a good point.
Yep.
In saving Rocky from Rambo, he's saving Rambo from himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good point. Lost Toby says Jackie Chan would win. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Jackie Chan is a serious badass. Hefty Lefty says, I'd rather see Rambo versus Dutch. So he's talking about Rambo versus Dutch from Predator.
Could be fun.
Rambo.
Rambo.
I'm taking Rambo.
Dutch beat an alien with dreadlocks. Okay.
Rambo.
I mean, an alien who could be invisible, and he was huge.
Do you think that Rambo could do that too? Because I think he could. If you were put in those circumstances and he was aware of what was going on.
Might even be a better alien fighter than Dutch.
Yeah, which is why I'm going Rambo.
Oh, see, now I got a lot to think about.
Because Rambo was tough enough. Remember when he got cut real bad and he had to sew his arm back up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Rambo.
Well, I mean, it's not like Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't get hurt and have to deal with it. I mean, but he did.
Come on, man.
He did take a nice, luxurious mud bath so that the alien couldn't see him.
And
so that was kind of like a spa day, to be honest. But he also survived a nuclear blast. So I don't know. It's tough. First and 15 says, I believe it was a drunken dispute over who would win in a fight between Rocky and Rambo is why Masvidal and the other guy are fighting.
Could be.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the truth. Lacrosse guy says, all right, I got the better fight. Magnum PI versus Fall Guy. Well, if this was back then, Magnum all day,
easy.
every day. Nowadays, the guy who played Fall Guy, is he even alive? If he is, he's being held up by string. You know, that Lee Majors, he's got to be really old right now.
And they reboot Magnum PI? The new Magnum PI guy is
forget it.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. By the way, the Magnum PI were to fight the Fall Guy. You know what? The only thing that would be happening, especially at their age right now, he'd be trying to talk him into a reverse mortgage. That'd be it. Lee Majors would be signing papers like, it seems like a good deal. All right.
See, but I want to backtrack on that because Fall Guy, it's Lee Majors, man, the $6 million man. And remember, Magnum PI. I mean, his mustache was epic, but he wasn't much of a fighter.
Oh, he was a good fighter, and
he wasn't much of.
He was supposed to be the original Indiana Jones, but he was under contract for Magnum. And the Fall Guy. Don't forget, the Fall Guy was extremely injured from all the stunts he had done. So
yeah, but he
wasn't
was
fighting
tough as
nobody.
Nail. He was a tough old codger, man. He's kind of like me, old age and treachery. Fall Guy wouldn't know what happened because Magnum PI wouldn't know what happened because Fall Guy would get the first shot in and it would not be a good one.
So I guess
he'd take him out at the knees.
You
right
think
there.
you're Fall Guy? I think I'm Magnum PI. I don't know who the hell Keon. Who are you, Keon? From what TV show?
Oh, good Lord, I don't know.
The man from Uncle? I don't know. I'll be honest, I never saw the show. I've never seen the show. Senior Wake and Bake says, didn't Tommy Gunn die from AIDS? I don't know what you're talking about. They didn't see Rocky 5. Helly's proctologist says, Manson or Unabomber? No. Yeah, we're not going to go down that road.
That's a dark one. That's a dark path. And we try to keep it light here on the blender. We get a little dark sometimes, but we don't wander all the way down the dark road if you know it's.
You and I keep it light.
Helly's proctologist, you need to text in at 6:05 just so it's the last text on the text line. So when the morning show shows up, Dale has to see that. Please do that for me later. Randy's chuckle says, "Love your show. Best sports question I've heard today." Yeah, Rocky versus Rambo. I mean, right now, yeah. Straight Striper says, "Late to the conversation, but Rocky over Rambo. Have you met anybody from Philly? Them some tough sons of bitches."
I mean, come on. We're talking Rambo here.
Yeah, Rambo.
He could take an oak tree, whittle it down with that badass knife of his, turn it into a spear. Rambo is nothing to be toyed with. He's nothing to be trifled with.
That little stool they give you in the corner, he's going to come out with some big old spikes.
Exactly.
Whoa. Hey.
He fights dirty.
You know, it starts a fight.
Neither killing fields.
Neither can understand each other.
That's probably why they're fighting.
Adrian!
Navy Brad says, "What about Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Ricky and Rambo?"
No.
Obi-Wan wins. Who's Ricky?
No.
Jagdog says, Hunter, Fred Dreyer, he'd kick Magnum PI's ass. This wasn't about Hunter, was it, Jagdog? We never even brought that balding sumbitch up, did we?
I don't know. I think Magnum PI, he drove it was somebody else's Ferrari. He lived in somebody else's mansion. I think he was kind of one of those hanger-on guys.
Yeah, he was like the dude that was on OJ's couch.
What about Magnum PI versus Jim Rockford from the Rockford Files? Now we got to fight.
Magnum was Navy intelligence.
Rockford
was just a crusty old PI.
That's it. Rockford would kick his ass.
No.
He would kick his ass.
No.
And drive away in his own damn Trans Am. That's what he would do.
Nah, I can't agree with that. Sorry. Senior Wake and Bake says, Keon, Harry Potter doesn't count. Lacrosse.
Too bad I never brought him up. So
he knew you were thinking about it.
I was not.
Lacrosse guy says, greatest American hero versus Sledgehammer. All right, this is just spiraling out of control, isn't it? Hefty Lefty says, by the way, Dale's not going to see any text until 8:30 a.m. if it's left up on the screen. So, by the way, and we've also already established Keon is static shock. I'll take someone with superpowers over a private investigator with an uncle stash. No, I'm the one who's the superhero. I'm the one that got the shock. He got bit by the spider. Navy Brad says Scooby versus Shaggy. They're both wusses.
Nothing. They're Scooby versus Shaggy.
They're both stoners.
The only thing that would work is Shaggy would lie to local authorities that Scooby bit him, and Scooby'd be put down. That's the. I mean, and then I don't think Shaggy would do that.
Yeah, that's his best friend. They get stoned together.
What?
That's heavily implied.
You can't prove anything.
That's heavily implied in the show.
Big George says, I'd take Maxwell Smart over Magnum PI. Actually, Magnum PI was a spinoff from the Rockford Files. So actually, I'd take James Garner. That doesn't mean he'd win the fight.
That's right.
Rockford versus Columbo. Yeah, Rockford would clean house with old Columbo. Yeah.
But Columbo would bore him to death with all of his, his reasoning and all that trench coat and that cigar. Oh, my God. I mean, Columbo, he would win the fight just because Rockford would just get bored of waiting and just drive off.
And one more thing. And ask him a ridiculous question that somehow proves his guilt. I don't know.
Hey, one more thing.
Oh, I thought you were saying one more thing.
No,
Actually,
pause. As Columbo.
Really, you got to say it right.
Really been bothering me.
One more thing. Yeah, you don't just say, and one more thing. I thought you were saying that.
Cardinal, I'm good at doing voices. I just end up just saying
that was you doing a voice.
I was trying, yeah.
Senior Wake and Bake says, Dirty Harry will kill them all. Cardinal Art says, Kojak would kick all their asses, except for Columbo.
Who loves you, baby?
None of this makes any sense anymore. None of this makes.
I think Dirty Harry could take Kojak down. I think he could take him down. Dirty Harry,
Harry, yeah.
Dirty Harry. Think about it for a second.
Yeah, Dirty Harry's taking care of business. I mean, he's killing folks. We're talking about fights. Navy Brad says Bruce Jacobs versus Dale Hellestray.
Oh, no.
We have actually explored that thought process in the past, and it's Dale Hellestray all day, every day.
10 fights out of 10, it's Dale.
It would just probably be Dale standing there going, why don't you run over here? And, like, because Bruce Jacobs would just suddenly be like Floyd Mayweather running from Manny Pacquiao. The only thing is Dale wouldn't chase him. Dale would just be like, I'll be here when you're ready. And if Bruce came anywhere near him, lights out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the best fight analysis you're going to hear today. Okay, this is where we got to stop this. Hefty Lefty, Icky Woods and the Icky Shuffle versus Jamal Anderson and the Dirty Bird. Stop.
Jamal Anderson.
See, you don't encourage this. We got to take a break. When we come back, we have On This Date in Big George's sports history and other assorted things to discuss. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Huzzah! Weekends now through April 3rd. Great shopping, a giant crafts market. New shows featuring sea fairies, mermaids, and merriments. Non-stop feasting and more. The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through April 3rd. Discount tickets available at Bashas' and Food City or Arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashas', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the low-cost airlines travel hotline right now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. That's 802-341-4535.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Today, someone will be included on a work conference call thanks to video relay services. Today, someone will have a support service provider, giving them the environmental and visual information to access and connect with their communities. Today, someone among the more than 1 million deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind Arizonans will enjoy greater accessibility and effective communication thanks to the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. To learn more, visit acdhh.org. Sponsored by the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing.
What will you learn on the Lifestyles Unlimited Multifamily Masters Tour?
You learn a lot. You learn from A to D. And we were very fortunate, this road trip was amazing. And in the in-between, and you meet a lot of wonderful people and a lot of folks that are interested in this and a lot of folks that are doing it.
March 17th. Tour apartment communities with top team apartment investors, owners, and operators. Register today at multifamilymasterstour.com.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Tonight, you got a doubleheader of AIA high school basketball. I believe these are championship games, right, Keon?
They are the championship games.
So I guess what's today? 5A, 6A championship?
I believe today is the 6A girls and boys.
Oh, okay. So both will be 6A tonight.
If I'm not mistaken.
Be great if I knew what it was. 888-368-1580. That's the Fanatic text line. And yes, you've got the high school basketball tonight. 2 games. Tomorrow we got GCU hosting Utah Valley at 6:45 p.m. Saturday is GCU versus Dixie Cup State at 5:45 p.m. That's the GCU right here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right. So, one of the things that did come across the news, and I was like, well, I don't care to talk about that. Former UFC champ Cain Velasquez, I guess, he got arrested for attempted murder. Well, now some of the details are starting to come out, and can't say I blame him if it's true. What they're saying is that he shot and injured a man in South San Jose, California. They say he opened fire because a relative of his was allegedly molested at a home daycare by this guy. 43-year-old Harry Eugene Goularte was arrested Friday on charges he molested the girl at a daycare run by his mother. He was granted supervised release, even though the prosecutors opposed it. So on Monday afternoon, Velasquez allegedly opened fire at a car containing this guy, but also in the car, his stepfather and another person. Stepfather was hit at least once, but he's going to survive. So that is what this is all about. So yeah, maybe not shooting into a car full of people, but let me tell you something. You touch one of my kids, you better hope they put you away for a long time, because I will be doing a similar thing. And I think there's a lot of people who feel the same way. I'll take my one, I get one, where I probably don't go away for life. Maybe I go away for a few years. I figure, oh, Jeffrey O'Brien, he never did anything wrong. He's got a clean slate. I get one. You touch my kids, I've been the guy who's always said, you rape a woman, you touch a kid, there should be a death sentence. As long as you have irrefutable proof that person did it, death sentence. Don't just put them away, kill them so they can never do it again. We don't need your DNA on this planet if that's the sort of thing that you are doing. So I don't agree with Velasquez opening fire in a car with a bunch of other people around. It's also unsafe just opening fire in a neighborhood, but I get it.
Yeah, I don't think he was thinking that clearly. I don't think any of us would be thinking that clearly.
Or he may know that the father-in-law and the stepfather and the other person were also dirtbags, you know what I mean? In a similar way. I don't know the story, but that is what's going on. So at least there's a little context to what Cain Velasquez did. But yeah, I'm guessing he's going away for a good long time, and hopefully so will the molester. It's a very unfortunate story, but of course you should never take the law into your own hands and get caught. 888-368-1580. Lost Toby says, but tell me how you really feel. I've been saying that on radio for 20 years. I actually had one guy try to argue with me about it. They're like, I'm guessing you're a child molester. Hitting the Nut says, went to the Renaissance Festival once, and man, I did not know stuff was so expensive back there in the Renaissance era. Also found a fajita shop. That made me suspicious of the authentic, how authentic this said festival was.
Wait, they've got fajitas at the Renaissance Fair?
Listen, there are clearly pictures and tapestries with fajitas and chalupas and tostadas.
What?
You got to know how to understand the Scottish tapestries.
It's all right there
on it, man.
That's why Indiana Jones, when he showed up at that castle, says, show me the tapestry, in a horrible Scottish accent. It's a true story. Ukalamak says, oh, and maybe I'm Sleepy Joe's twin, because I fell asleep during his State of the Union last night, just like he did. What are you doing? This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Why would you throw in political stuff? This is a no politics zone. I wish we could make it that. So tired of it. Swave Dave says, home at last. Happy Wednesday. Pour me a tall one, please, Randy. Navy Brad says, you guys are the best. I'm laughing and a huge smile going on. Thank you, guys. I need that. Best show on the radio.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We should have just left that as the last thing that was on the text line before Hefty Lefty says, yeah, sorry I brought up the Icky Shuffle and the Dirty Bird. I only did that battle because I just saw the Geico commercial with Icky getting some cold cuts. Woo!
Go get some cold cuts today.
I prefer the Icky Shuffle personally to the Dirty Bird. Maybe that just shows my age, right?
Maybe. The Icky Shuffle is really cool, though.
Senior Wake and Bake says, wow, this guy maybe should have just kicked the guy's ass instead. Lost Toby says, I just got the and don't get caught part. Yeah, thank you. It was a joke. So, all right, let's do this now before we run out of time or somebody comes and shuts us off. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1949, the brilliant golfer Ben Hogan narrowly survived a head-on car crash with a bus in Texas. George, how's this sport? For a time, it appeared he might never play again, but he recovered from his injuries, and he won the United States Open 16 months later at the Marion Golf Club in Pennsylvania, defeating Lloyd Magrum and George Fazio in an 18-hole playoff. Back to me, Jeffrey.
Wow. How about that?
I think that one was kind of weak.
Really?
Was that good? I mean, that's like, okay.
I didn't know that he injured an automobile accident
head on.
Car versus bus.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. And he come back and win the Open?
Yeah, come to think of it, you're right. What kind of a wuss is Tiger Woods right now?
Oh, geez.
I mean, his leg was destroyed. So.
No, come on. Hold on. Ben Hogan head-on crash with a bus. Tiger Woods rolls off the road and hits a tree.
Before you go too far down the road, Tiger was on the course earlier this season with his son, and he was hitting 300-yard drives. So Tiger is almost there. Is he ready for competition? He says no, but everybody was amazed at how well he was hitting the ball.
He still was. Big George, thank you for that. Hefty Lefty.
I was trying to cover you, man.
Hey, you tried. You did your best.
Everyone remember, shoot the guy below the waist, so it's just assault with a deadly weapon. Kane should have just shot the guy's wiener off. Cardinal Art says, got some wings, burgers, and brats on the smoker since it's hot. If anyone cares, may I have a tall boy and a weather report, please, there, Randy?
Oh, all right. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White reporting sunshine, warm temperatures above normal for this time of year is what I'm reporting to you right now. Current downtown temperature, 86 degrees. Looks like going to be 86 tomorrow. Mostly sunny. Some clouds moving in Friday and a cool 69. And we'll cool it off through the weekend. 67 Saturday, 64 Sunday. But it starts rising again Monday up to 70. And by Friday, it'll be 76 in the valley. Beautiful skies. Chamber of Commerce weather here in the valley. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White reporting. Jeff, go.
You know, this reminds me of, you know how you get a plane that's kind of, they'll do it on takeoff, or on landing. Mostly this is a takeoff. Ready? So they see the plane coming down the runway to take off, and it goes, boom. It bounces on the runway a couple times, and then straight up in the air. That's the temperatures. They're just kind of bouncing up and down on the runway. Big fat plane getting ready to go up into the stratosphere and give us 120-degree temperatures again.
Well, it's bound to happen. We know that. So I hate to tell you that. The 100-degree temperatures are headed our way. So we just better brace for them.
Hefty Lefty, I was kidding about Tiger Woods. He says, I mean, Tiger did win a major on a torn knee. I know. And listen, I was very, very happy for him when he did it. Because I actually predicted he would, and nobody believed me. If I had DraftKings on my phone, then I'd have made so much money. If I'd have betted somebody that he would win another major back when I said it back in 2014, holy crap, I'd have made a ton of money. George says there's 100% chance of rain here in Carlsbad, California on Friday. I hope some of that rain makes out to you guys. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we don't need the rain. I mean, are you guys looking for rain?
No,
not really. No. I moved away from rain. I'm good.
Are you checking weather on your phone, or is just something else going on in there?
Yeah, no, it's the AIA basketball folks.
Hey, they can get hooked up because I'm not on the Comrex.
That's what I was telling.
Oh, good for you. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says his torn knee was in 2008. Yeah, but I said it in 2014. Why do I got to work so hard for this? Lost Toby says, I'm paying for going out yesterday, but I did get flashed twice.
Hello.
Where did you get flashed? We're not even in New Orleans. Do people do that in Tempe? I'm guessing Tempe or Scottsdale.
Those are the two suspects that are the usual suspects of that kind of behavior.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
And my guess is Tempe.
If that's happening to you driving down, like, say, Maine and Stapley, you don't want to see those. You know, see some old lady at a bus stop. I'll throw you beads if you close your shirt. Just please stop. You're going to trip on those, lady. Come on. It's not safe for anybody.
How low can they go?
No, senior wake and bake. You can't change your name to butt snot. That doesn't even make any sense.
Butt snot?
No idea. It sounds like you need to see a doctor, though.
Yeah.
I have all sorts of stuff we could talk about, but we only have like 2 minutes left, and I don't want to get into a good conversation that just dies right away. But the one thing I'll give you a preview for tomorrow when we talk about the NFL is Trent Baalke for the Jaguars saying, hey, we're always open for pick business. All right. Okay. We got the overall pick. Who wants to do some business? Nobody, because there's nobody worth that pick coming down the pipe in the draft to actually trade up that much for.
Not unless you really, really want an edge rusher.
Gosh,
we wish we got those. Those guys are awesome.
What happened where there's just no good quarterbacks coming out this draft? Not really.
It's that kind of crop this year.
Yeah,
it's kind of season.
I think they're good quarterbacks. I just don't think there's anybody worth taking at number one.
Right. I mean, there's some good quarterbacks, but I'm saying no brainer. Let's just do it. Let's move up and get it. The Bears, like nobody thought that Trubisky was that person except for the Bears, but outside of that,
I guarantee you some one of these teams in the top 10 will absolutely pull the trigger on a quarterback that in retrospect, we're going to look back and go, that guy went too high.
Yeah. And then they're also going to say, well, we're not trading up for it. We'll take it when it falls to us. That's how that's going to go. But as far as trading up, no.
But the Bears traded up for Trubisky and he would have fallen to them. It was double stupid.
Well, the Bears are really dumb. You forgot that.
Yeah.
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 All right, guys, that's it for us. We're out of your radios again until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Have a great night. Be safe out there and watch out for old ladies at the bus stops in Mesa. It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.